you have just joined us, welcome along everybody. It is Utilita Bowl on a sun-baked July afternoon. It is wonderful to have you company. The final doubleheader of the season. We've had some memorable ones so far, just under 10 minutes away now from welcoming the teams for Hampshire Hawks have won the toss. They're going to have a bat first. Let's make our way off the pitch because the players need to get on very shortly. Indeed. Look, this is going to be massive for the Hawks, right? I know only 2 points they need from their final 3 games. However, you want to get that done as soon as possible, don't you, in qualifying?
Exactly. And interestingly, wanting to obviously opting to bat first. So it'd be good to see how that goes down. And we are so close. You know, next Friday it's all kicking off if we get to those important next stages. So, come on, guys, you can do this. We believe.
Indeed, it's going to be chaos on the field, chaos off it as well. Tell us what's going on today, Fern.
So much. We've got some merch to give away, so if you are interested, make sure you get yourselves up, make yourselves known, because there's a few interesting t-shirts right here. There's some signatures on, isn't there?
A few t-shirts going. We've got a bit of Hampshire's apple roll.
Oh my goodness, we're going head to head. You're 2-0 up compared to me, which I'm really disappointed about. We're going to be rolling some massive apples across the pitch.
It's chaos. It's basically just people making fools of themselves for our entertainment, which we love. But anyway, all and us, of course, yeah, we do that anyway. But all eyes on this game then, just about to welcome the teams. And we've got a brilliant guard of honour. Look at these flag bearers, everybody. These are all from St. Patrick's School. It's wonderful to have you here. You're looking forward to it, yeah, enthusiastic waving, just like we did in rehearsals. Well done to you all. Good stuff. Right, we're good to go then, just about Fern. Hampshire Hawks won the toss and elected to bat first this afternoon. We are just about ready to go.
I think we're ready to go. Don't forget there's live music coming up afterwards as well. It's going to be a fantastic afternoon. Keep yourself safe in the sunshine as well.
Good afternoon and a warm welcome, a very warm welcome in fact. Here at the Utilita Bowl, we've got another double header for you in store. That's the second double header in 4 days. Later on tonight at 7 o'clock, Hampshire men will be taking on Middlesex. Hampshire currently top of the southern table. But you don't need to wait for your fix to watch Hampshire until then, because the women are in action coming up very soon in in 5 minutes, sorry, against the Blaze. Hampshire women also sitting top of the table, take on Blaze currently in 4th. Commentary team for today is myself, Jem Green, and welcome back to Kevin James, who was off sick over the weekend. Very rare.
Yeah, having missed a game, gosh, I feel totally out of it, actually, Gemma. But nice to be back, and such an important day here, not just for the two South Coast teams, the men and women, but also for the Blaze, because they'll be very keen to keep their spot in fourth, because for this year, it's 4 teams that go forward to finals day, whereas last year, the first year of the county system, there was 3 teams that contested finals day, of which the Blaze were 1. Although they fell at the semi-final hurdle. So, yeah, important game for both sides. Both sides will want to win it. Hampshire, as you say, can clinch their final place with a tie. At the very least, a win will certainly confirm that. And to be honest, unless Somerset produce something out of the bag in the last 2 games, then Hampshire have probably all but qualified anyway with 3 games to go.
And if anyone can pull off a tie, it's Hampshire this season, having done it twice already in the group. The toss was done a little while ago, and Hampshire captain Georgia Adams won that and decided to have a bat this time. She won the toss and had a bowl on Sunday, but felt it was a little dry today, and conditions looked best to go out and get the runs on the board. There's just one change for the Hampshire side. Maya Boucher is on international duty, test match starting at Lords on Friday, so she's with the England squad. So Daisy Gibb comes in for her. So your Hampshire 11 today look like this. It's Ella McCacken, Georgia Adams, Francesca Sweet, keeper Rhianna Southby, Nancy Harmon, Abby Norgrove, Naomi Ditani, AJ Wellington, Poppy Tullock, Daisy Gibb, and Bex Tyson. Now the Blaze, they're coming off the back of 2 defeats. They were top of the table when we had the break of these fixtures. It's in 2 blocks, is the Women's Blast. They were top of the table at the end of the first block. They've come back and struggled a little bit, but they've made 3 changes from their team on Sunday. That's Prisha Thanwala making way for Michaela Kirk, Ella Claridge making way for Grace Ballinger, and Maria Andrews out for Charlie Phillips. So the Blaze 11 look like this: Marie Kelly, Georgia Elwis, Catherine Bryce, Charlie Knott, keeper Sarah Bryce, Emma Jones, Michaela Kirk, Grace Ballinger, captain Kirsty Gordon, Josie Groves, and Charlie Phillips.
Yes, another boiling hot day here off the South Coast. I think it's up to about 32, I think, at some point today. We've got a fan on behind us, so that's helping just a tad, but really no more than that. Both these sides really shorn of their international players, as so often happens. And interesting news from the Blaze, wasn't there, just a little while ago, Gemma?
Yeah, Tammy Beaumont, who's in that test squad, has announced that at the conclusion of that match, which starts on Friday, she will be retiring from international cricket. So that news is hot in, fresh off the press, as they say.
But she will continue playing domestic cricket.
She will, yeah.
Of which she plays in the 100 as well as the Blaze. So Blaze fans don't need to worry. They will probably see a lot more of Tammy Beaumont, although she has played in 8 of the 9 matches the Blaze have played so far in this competition. She only missed the last game against Durham, so she has been a fairly regular player, presence in the Blaze top order.
Yeah, she scored a couple of 50s in this season's run as well. 54 against Lancashire and 59 also against Lancashire. Likes batting against Lancashire.
Well, there's a few people around. I don't think they're expecting the biggest of crowds today. There's an awful lot of cricket been happening over the last few weeks, and coming up, the England-India T20 men's final game on Saturday. So a lot of cricket coming up.
Open the bowling for Blaze is Charlie Phillips as she runs in with her right arm seam, and it's full and straight and defended by Ella McCacken for no run. Opening the batting today is Ella McCacken as usual, but with Georgia Adams moving up a place for the absent Maya Boucher.
So we're on Sports Extra 3 this afternoon, as well as on the BBC Sports app and website, and we're also on the Hampshire Cricket web feed on their website.
Phillips in. McCacken plays this out onto the offside, and that's the first run on the board for Hampshire as she works that down to third man for a single.
So the situation in the table, Hampshire have 3 matches to play, as does the Blaze. Hampshire have 32 points Now, if you win well, you can get an extra bonus point.
As they did on Sunday.
That's right, on top of your 4 points. So Hampshire have 32 points from 9. Durham have 31 from 10 played. Surrey in third have 28 from 10. Blaze 25 from 9. They're your top 4.
Phillips, Adams on strike. Bowles full delivered, driven to point. And there's no run there.
And both these teams, as Durham and Surrey, and to a lesser extent Somerset, I mean, they can mathematically in 5th just about get into the top 4, but well, they can get into the top 4. Is whether they stop Hampshire from qualifying, which would seem unusual. So I would say Somerset included in that. The finals day is next Friday, week Friday.
At the Oval.
Yeah.
Charlie Phillips in again, and this time Adams works it onto the leg side just behind square to pick up another single.
So Adams in this competition, she's played in all 9, had 9 innings, 240 runs going into today, striking at 116 per 100 balls. Ella McGacken, who's been on England A duty, has played in 7 of the games. Scored just over 120 runs in those 7 innings.
Just 4 balls into the start of this match, and a little tinker in the field that's reinforcing the leg side ring as Phillips is up to the stumps again and bangs it in short, and McGacken rocks onto the back foot and cuts that just behind square to pick up the first boundary of the day.
She's got quite a slingy action, hasn't she? Has Charlie Phillips. She's played in 5 matches in this competition. This is her 6th today. She picked up 7 wickets in those games. Used to play for Hertfordshire with Rebecca Tyson.
Ah, there you go.
Left arm spinner.
Seen a bit of her later on. As Kev said, it is a beautiful day here, and don't forget it's your last chance to catch Hampshire double header at home. So whatever you're doing, put it down and get yourself down to Utilita Bowl. It's going to be a great day. 2 games, the first one just starting now as Phillips is in again, line and length and driven to point. There's no run there. That will have complete the first over. Hampshire is 6 without loss.
And there's no doubt they will miss Maya Boucher today. I mentioned earlier, she's in the test squad for the Friday test.
Yep, it's absolutely fantastic knock on Sunday. 77 not out in pursuit of Lancashire's target that they set. Boucher is currently 2nd leading run scorer in this tournament behind Somerset Sophie Luff, but Sophie Luff on 372, Boucher on 355, having played 4 fewer innings, I think, so it's incredible.
Yeah, she's been absolutely awesome and been in great form in the 50-over competition as well. When you've got a player like Maya Boucher around, I guess you'd expect to win a few games that otherwise might be tight. Or maybe you just miss out. Grace Ballinger with her left arm seamers, who's one of the 3 changes in the Blaze side today, will be into the attack from the pavilion end. And Hampshire, after that first over, are 6 without loss. Remember, Hampshire could seal their place at finals day next Friday with a win or a tie here. The Blaze will want to maintain their top 4 position. That's pulled away by Adams. It's gone through mid-wicket. And that is going to be 4 runs away to the left. This wicket is cut slightly to the right here, the west side of the ground, the right as we look, which means the tunnel area is slightly further away. But of course, that rope is, it's quite a big area behind that rope towards the tunnel, actually, isn't it?
It is.
You can almost play another game over there.
You could, yeah. Once the ball's gone over the boundary, you've still got to trek to go and fetch it.
And there aren't too many in the crowd over that side as well, because that's quite a long, well, I wouldn't say it's a long way away from the action, but far enough. Ballinger left arm over, bowls, and again Adam pulls that away on the leg side. It's going to be 4 more, a little squarer this time, hit with a little bit more authority.
And there's just someone from the, I think that's from the Blaze backroom squad, the Blazing squad, who's just fielded that for them to save save a bit of their legs.
This is Grace Ballinger's 6th match in this competition this year. She's picked up 9 wickets, good economy rate, and 5.5 and over. Hasn't started too well here though, with 2 boundaries off her first 2 deliveries as Adams gets one that bounces, tries to cut that and misses. Goes through to keeper Sarah Bryce, who's come back from the Scotland T20 World Cup squad, as has her sister, as has Kirsty Gordon in the Blaze squad. I read something interesting last night. I don't know if you've seen this, Gemma, but it looks very much as though the Blaze will change their name next year
No,
to
I haven't seen
Nottinghamshire.
that. Okay.
Yeah, now I don't know how true that is. It's down the leg side. That'll be a wide. I did ask actually somebody at the Blaze while I was on the ground here, and they didn't really deny it. So my guess is that after this year, the Blaze will be Nottinghamshire. It's been an interesting one, isn't it, with them keeping their name?
I thought it was odd when everyone reverted back to get in line with the men's county and become one club to name themselves differently to their men's counterpart.
Ballinger runs in and bowls, length ball, and Adams just strokes that out towards extra cover. Apparently, I mean, I asked this last year. One of the reasons they kept it on from the old regional era was that they were playing games outside of Nottinghamshire. For instance, they were playing at Chesterfield, they were playing at Loughborough. Well, that hasn't happened this year. So there is no reason really now, when you look at it logically, for them to be considered to be the Blaze anymore. Because they're not. Because, I mean, their home games in this competition have all been at Trent Bridge. That's pulled away again by Adams. There is reinforcements out of the leg side, but still she's found the gap. And that is another boundary through the leg side. And Grace Ballinger's just bowled a little too short in this over. She's conceded 13 runs, 3 boundaries in her first 5 deliveries. Not really giving it a chance to swing either, bowling that length. Plenty of music here, plenty going on there, but again, the crowd is just a little sparse. But as I say, Hampshire weren't expecting too many today. I think it was about 6,000 here or so, I'm told, for Sunday.
Sunday, yeah, it looked good on Sunday. Obviously, a weekend helps, but yeah, it did. There was a good feel here Sunday.
Kirsty Gordon was just having a chat with Ballinger. I'm sure one of the first sentences she'll say, "Can you just pitch it up a little bit further, please?" Maybe not phrased quite like that. As Ballinger comes in, that is a better length, and Adams steers that out into the covers. Good over from Hampshire, not so good from Ballinger. And Hampshire, having won the toss and elected to bat first, on 19 without loss.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier the Blaze have had, coming into this game off the back of a couple of defeats, which just has rattled their campaign that was flourishing before that. But they do very well in this fixture. Well, they did last year. We played Hampshire. Hampshire played Blaze twice last year. They only played them once this year, but beat them both times last year. At home to the Blaze at Chesterfield, they beat Hampshire by 37 runs. And here in their own backyard, they beat them by 27 runs. So did the double over Hampshire yesterday. Last year, sorry, not yesterday. Not many clubs can claim that, so they can take that confidence into this game as Charlie Phillips is preparing for her second over. She's in past the umpire, bowls just a 2-leg stump, and McCacken's able to work that around with no worries at all for a single.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned their record because, well, certainly against Hampshire, as you mentioned there, but also they were beaten semi-finalists last year when it was a 3-team
in both formats
finals. Oh, in 50 over as well, yeah. Right? Okay. And but in the last year of the regional competition, they are champion, or were champions.
Can't take that away from them. The holders of the Charlotte Edward Cup, and will be forevermore. She's in and bowls a fuller floated delivery, and that's driven well timed by Adams down the ground. That's another 4. Hampshire going very nicely here. 24 without loss.
Yes, I was there, and I remember the Vipers losing to the Southeast Stars, and the Blaze played the Southeast Stars in the final, and the Bryce sisters batted absolutely superbly that day on a tricky-ish situation, really. They were chasing 141, and both the Bryce sisters one got an unbeaten half-century, the other one a half-century, put on 79 for the 3rd wicket. Absolutely superb batting.
Oh, Phillips pulls out of her run up there, just as she's about to approach the crease. Well, you have to rerun that, which isn't something you want to do in this heat as a seamer. Having a chat now with Captain Kirsty Gordon. We're still in that power play. The 2 fielders on the boundary for both bowlers, as you'd expect with the seamers, are behind the bat, on either side of the wicket. And she's top of her mark, ready to go again. Adams on strike. She's going nicely, 17 off 9. Phillips bowls and back of a length ball Adams waited on that and let it run behind square on the offside. There was a fielder down there, so it would just be the single. So yeah, Adams winning the toss today in batting, won the toss on Sunday in bowl. Is it just to have a go at doing everything and make sure they're... because the conditions aren't that much different today as they were, and it's the same pitch.
Is it the same pitch as Sunday as well?
Sunday.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know if it's a case of just make sure they're in check with chasing and setting a target. In and bowls, it's outside off stump, and again it's cut behind square. It beats the point fielder, but the boundary rider will keep that down to a single. That's Grace Ballinger down there on the boundary. I
tried to get to hear what Adams said in the answer to why did you bat first, and I think she said something like hot conditions, you know, a used pitch. I think that's what the phrase. I was working on something else at the time, so you know me trying to do two things at once, not very good.
You've got to stop trying that, Kev.
Yeah, no. Should learn by now.
No, I heard a similar thing. The only difference was saying it's the same pitch and same weather as Phillips is in again. Drives to the covers. No run is the time of day. Sunday's game was a 11:30 start, so we are further into the day now. It is that bit hotter, so maybe that's anyway. With they're batting first, fielding first. Hampshire are 3 from 3 batting first, so you know why not? When they fielded first, they've had a mixed bag: 1-3, lost 1, tied 2. So.
You really have done your homework. All this stuff that you do for these very famous commentators.
Like Kevin James. So that's driven to mid-off, no run.
I do my own stuff. But all these other very big names. You're clearly well into the fold there, aren't you? You know exactly what to look for and what to come up with, don't you?
I hope so.
Well, certainly, that's great stuff. That's great insight. Just a reminder, there's one change to the Hampshire side. No Baya Boucher. She's in the test squad for Friday's one-off test at Lords against India. She makes way, and Daisy Gibb is back for Hampshire after a hand injury, which has kept her out of this competition since the third game of the group stages back in the 26th of May. Her last game was against Essex, so she's back in the side. So basically, Hampshire have lost a batter and gained a bowler, so it'll be interesting to see how that pans out. But they do have plenty of players in form. And for the Blaze, in come Grace Ballinger, Charlie Phillips and Michaela Kirk. Out go Maria Andrews, Ella Claridge and Prishna Thanawala. Right, we've got a change of bowling. This looks like Charlie Knott. And immediately she gets a wicket, and the middle stump of Ella McCacken is knocked out of the ground as she tries to pull her away on the leg side. And Charlie Knott, against her former side, has picked up a wicket straight away. McCacken goes for 7, 26 for 1.
Yeah, barely any time for you to introduce her there, Kev. She was in bowl. It was a quicker ball, and yeah, like you say, middle stump. Umpire Mohammed Wazim is rebuilding that as McCacken makes her way back, and Charlie Knott is 1 wicket off 1 ball. She has taken an incredible spell this season, Charlie Knott. She took 6 for 25 against Surrey at Trent Bridge earlier in this competition. And those are the second best figures in both years of the Vitality Blast, behind Rihanna McDonald's Gay 6 for 11. So yeah, 6 for in T20. You don't see many of those, do you?
Certainly don't. It just looks a little too full, really, didn't it? As well as pushed through a bit. Yes, Charlie Knott, very popular player, wasn't she? Played the last year of the regional competition for the Vipers down here, and then the first year of the county system for Hampshire, with plenty of success.
Yeah, she's been in the side as an all-rounder, but she's been in the runs and wickets for Blaze this year.
She's bowling from the pavilion end after that fairly expensive over from Grace Ballinger, which cost 13 runs. So the new batter for Hampshire is Abby Norgrove, who's been pushed up the order, and Knott bowls, and Norgrove's on the back foot, steers that out into the covers, and there's no run. This is Abby Norgrove's 9th match, her 6th innings. Just the 72 runs to her name, but she's been up and down the order a bit in this competition, hasn't she? She's having a very good 50 over competition, over 300 runs at 45, but she's been batting a little higher in that. That's pulled away, finds mid-wicket. There's no run. There's a fielder there at mid-wicket. He's fielding right on the matting there, which there's a bit of a giveaway as to where Saturday's wicket is for the T20. England, India, right slap bang in the middle, as that's pulled away up to mid-on by Norgrove, and again can't find the gap. This wicket is about, well, it's 4 wickets to the right of Saturday's wicket, and about 5 from the end of the square on the west side of the ground. Not started well here. Norgrove gives herself a little bit of movement down the pitch, just works it away behind square on the leg side, finds Grace Ballinger, and there is no run. So far, this is on for a wicket maiden for Charlie Knott, and she has 1 more ball left.
Slipping in the curse there, are you, Kev?
Well, she said, yeah, somebody has. A good start in the first 3 overs. This is certainly a complete contrast. There's Knott bowls. Norgrove again comes down the wicket, finds the gap on the leg side, so not a wicket maiden, but nevertheless a very, very good over from the Australian, Charlie Knott, and Hampshire 27 for 1 after 4.
Yeah, really good over from Knott there. She was very much bowling stump to stump. Obviously, the first ball was literally stump to stump, but since then she kept her line very straight, so there was no way that they could get her away on the offside. So they were trying to play cross back to balls that were a little bit fuller than perhaps those shots are meant for, and it kept things very tight.
So she shots on the live picture feed there of 1 or 2 poor people taking their seats ready for the rest of the day. Interesting, I had a chat with 1 or 2 here. I was up here yesterday for a little while, and they were saying about ticket sales. Quite interesting. Obviously, it's weather reliant, isn't it? If you know it's going to be poor weather, you're not so inclined to buy a ticket. They're actually saying because the weather's almost too good, people are also inclined not to,
with their fans.
Yeah, rather than buy a ticket and sit out in the sun.
Okay, Kirsty Gordon, captain, brings herself on for the first time in this game, and that's driven up to mid-on for a single by Abby Norgrove. Yeah, I know what you mean. I was thinking earlier today I had a coffee and I thought I'll have it in the garden. I thought, actually, no, I'm going to stay in the lounge where it's cooler. So, yeah, I get it. Yeah. We can't hack it. We can't hack the heat. Kirsty Gordon with her left arm spin round the wicket. And, that's well played by Georgia Adams, who again accesses that backward of point area and just times that just out of reach of the fielder, and that goes for 4 runs.
I thought that was going to be cut off there, Charlie Phillips. That backward of point, just looked like it went under her body somewhat.
I think it was just always just out of reach of her, just timed well by Adams. Not overhit, but just never quite in pursuit. As Kirsty once again, and this time Adams goes down the ground, and long on looked interested for about a second before she realised that was sailing over her head for the first 6 of the day. Adams moves on to 28 off 14.
I'll tell you what, she's finding the middle of the bat here, isn't she? I mean, the one behind square was beautifully timed, not tried to hit it too hard. There is just a swing of the bat. She hasn't tried to hit that too hard. It's just a lovely full flow of the bat. Confident that it's going to go over the top.
Again, a slightly fuller ball, but rocked back, and that's almost a carbon copy of the very first 4 she hit in this innings, where she's rocked back and just guided that behind square, and another 4.
She's picking the length brilliantly here.
She is 14 off the last 3 balls to Adams.
I like Grace Ballinger. Kirsty Gordon's under real pressure here straight away in her first over.
Yeah, Georgia Adams, I mean, it seems silly to say she batted well on Sunday. When doesn't she bat well, really, over the years? But she was in Maya Boucher's shadow a little bit, but she was 37 not out in a partnership of 87 with Maya Boucher to conclude that 9-wicket win. This time a fuller ball, and she flicks it straight, if that's the right thing to say, sort of flicks it off her legs, but straight up to mid-on for 1.
Did you always flick it up to deep mid-on?
I always meant to, yeah. That's exactly where I meant to flick it. That's what I tell them. No leading edge. As this time she gives herself a little bit of room on the offside and tries to drive it through extra cover, but there's no run there. As Georgia Elwes, her ex-teammate, does the fielding, ends the over. Good one for Hampshire. They're 43 for 1 off 5.
Yeah, Kirsty Gordon played all 5 matches for Scotland in the recent T20 World Cup. Picked up 7 wickets. The best of 3 for 16 against Ireland at Old Trafford, where Scotland won by 40 runs. Under pressure straight away here, though. Just that 1 over from Charlie Knott, which has really halted, the only over that's really put the brakes on Hampshire's good start. 1 more over the power play left, 43 for 1. Adams is 33 from 16. Catherine Bryce is into the attack with her right arm medium pacers, another member of the Scotland squad.
Now she is, Catherine Bryce is what I deem an ultimate all-rounder.
Yeah.
Absolute ultimate all-rounder. She was the leading run scorer last year for Blazing This with 632 and the leading wicket taker with 18. And this year she's second on the run scorers and first in the wicket takers.
Sister Sarah standing up to the stumps as she bowls from the pavilion end. That's driven hard up to mid-on by Adams. Finds the fielder this time, but she really is timing the ball beautifully. It's like watching Maya Boucher out there at the moment. 43 for 1. 5 balls left of the power play. Hampshire top of the group, Blazing fourth going into this game as she hits that over the head of Bryce, and that's racing away up towards the pavilion for 4 runs. My word, she's timing just about everything she's hitting at the moment. And Adams races on to 37 from just 18.
Yeah, you've been saying it for a couple of overs now, but that was the best example of timing the socks off something, because that just flew past the bowler. A couple of bounces to the boundary.
Terrific stuff from the captain here as they look for their first finals day, as Adams drives again. It's gone hard up to mid-on. Anything full, she's playing through the line, and anything short, she's pulling it away on the leg side. And
what do you do as a bowler when someone's picking length that?
Well, I'm not sure they've actually bowled too much line and length to her, if I'm really honest. But I think what she has done is when it's slightly short, she's picked it. When it's slightly full, she's picked it. But it has to be an accurate line, and it has to be, the length has to be perfect. That's a better length, and that's worked towards mid-wicket, and there's no length. I just don't think there's been too many balls of that length bowled to her.
No, and they've just changed the field as well. So both, just to say, we're still 1 over in left of the power play, or 2 balls now. But they did have one either side. They brought both fielders onto the leg side, one straight.
Bryce bowls, and that's hit down the ground. There is a deep mid-on, as Gemma says. That will be just a single. Probably would have bought her a 4 earlier in the over. I've got an email here from Paul Williams, which I must mention, hampshirecricket@bbc.co.uk. It says, good to have you back, Kev. Thank you. It was only a few days. I wasn't too good. No World Cup football today, but great that Hampshire are filling the gap. So all work was finished early and settling down for a few hours. I wonder if Brad Taylor would be worth an interview or a chat on commentary as Norgrove works it out into the covers. Nicely timed, but picks out the field. I think that's Charlie Knott there. 48 for 1 then at the end of the 6 over power play. The 1 wicket was Ella McCacken, bowled by Charlie Knott for 7. Paul goes on to say, Brad Taylor, who's the one of the coaches for the Hampshire women here, yes, a former off-spinner, would be worth an interview or a chat in commentary, as he was one of my favourite players, and sadly injury stopped us seeing how good he could have been. He's doing a very good job of coaching. He does. He has a very good reputation here for what he's doing. He was actually interviewed and part of our commentary team last year. I can't remember exactly which game it was, but he was up here and spoke really well. So, yeah, I'm sure we can try and do that again.
Excellent. We've got another change of bowler this end. Our commentary end is Georgia Elwes, former Vipers player. And in the last year or so playing for Vipers, we didn't see her bowl much. She had a back injury. So she tended to play as a batter only, but she's bowled in every game for the Blaze this season in this competition. And she's got ball in hand now. Keeper Sarah Bryce up to the stumps. She's in and bowls, and Adam whips that onto the leg side. There's 2 fielders fairly close out there. We're out of the power play now, so there's a bit more reinforcement, and it'll just be the single. And Abby Norgrove now on strike. There's a lot of waving in the field going on by George Adams as she's making the changes for the new batter on strike. Sent out a deep cover sweeper. Comes in and Norgrove shuffles down the wicket and tries to get that past mid-wicket. She does, sorry, apologies there. Mid-wicket took the pace off. That's Grace Ballinger, and they come through for a single.
That's been a good start. Just the 1 wicket lost in the power play. Settle for that. It was a good wicket, actually. U-ball coming on hard. Sometimes always the best time to bat.
Absolutely, and yeah, Elwes is in again. Bowls on the leg stump, and that's worked away on the leg side for a single. And they are a batter down because, in replacement for Maya Boucher, who's on international duty, they brought in Daisy Gibb, so a bowler for a batter. So you don't want to be too many down in the power play when you've made that change. So yeah, just to have the 1 wicket down at the minute. Hampshire will be happy with that as Elvis is in. Bowles, little shuffle by Norgrove and heaved onto the leg side. That wasn't the best looking shot, but it got there and it's a single.
Who's that out there?
I think that's Charlie Knott.
Yes, it is, yeah. I thought I recognised it. It's funny, isn't it? Sometimes you just recognise their mannerisms.
Elvis in and Bowles, and that's driven down the ground to Charlie Knott, who's going to cut that off. They'll come back for 2, scamper back, and that's well run. Yeah, I think Charlie Knott and Georgia Elvis I always think look similar, but when one's bowling, I can work it out.
Because one's not.
Yeah, that's... My powers of deduction are second to none. Elvis again. Bowles floaty delivery, worked away onto the leg side. Hampshire happy to pick up the singles on offer, having had the good start they had. End of the 7th over, 55 for 1.
Email here from Peter, Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk. Good afternoon, team. It says time to come back to county cricket after the fun we've had during the World Cup. He means the Cricket World Cup, I guess. He says, shame the Hampshire stroke England girls, obviously the Hampshire players in the England side, couldn't get the job done at the World Cup, but let's hope we can get our hands on some domestic silverware. Any signs of Steve the Pigeon yet? No, he's not in sight at the moment. Presuming it's him.
You'd have to get me up to speed on Steve the Pigeon.
Well, Steve the Pigeon was making a nuisance of himself, assuming it is a man.
It would be if he's making a nuisance.
Yeah, well, thank you, Gemma. And I suppose it has to be, doesn't it? And yeah, I mean, the players were very good actually. They just sort of didn't take much notice of him, but he was very close in fielding for a lot of the game a couple of games ago. But no, he's not here, which begs the question: what has happened to him? As Charlie Knott starts a new over with a off spin from the pavilion end and flicked away in the air. It could be caught. The boundary has just gone over the fielder. Well, again, that's amazingly well timed because that's no more than just a flick away over mid wicket. It teased the fielder out there for a while, but in the end, it was a good 1.5 feet, 2 feet over her head. Fantastic swing of the bat through the line of the ball, and she's getting such power from very little seemingly effort. Is that Catherine Bryce out there at deep mid wicket?
It is, yeah.
So Charlie Knott into Adams, who defends for a change out on the offside. Adams is 49 from just 27 deliveries as Hampshire move on to 61 for 1 in the 8th. Terrific stuff from Georgia Andrew. I really don't want to keep saying how well she's batting because usually that means the end is nigh, but that's not hope. Let's just enjoy the innings that the captain is playing. Cuts that one away, finds point, dances down the wicket a couple of paces. No, says Abby Norgrove. Adams so far in this year's competition has come close to a 50 without actually getting over the line. 48 in the game against Lancashire at Blackpool, which Hampshire won. She drives that to mid-wicket. She wants a single. She's a third of the way down, but wasn't one there. It's unusual, isn't it? I mean, looking at the amount of runs that she'd scored coming into this game, nearly 250, though hadn't actually been a half century in that, but she's been very consistent. 37 not out on Sunday that Jim has been mentioning. She pulls that away on the leg side. That'll be caught at deep mid-wicket. And she's gone. Now, I have to say, I'm quite surprised at that. She's hit that low and flat. Again, she's timed it too well. And Bryce has caught it right on the deep mid-wicket boundary, and Adams goes for 49.
Well, you just went one too many, Kev, mentioning
See, I knew it'd be my fault.
lack of half centuries.
Yeah.
But no, it was a fine knock. Take nothing away from that. Like you say, it was a pleasure to watch.
She's a victim there of timing the ball too well. I mean, she hasn't really tried to hit that too hard. She didn't seemingly look to hit it over the top of the fielder. Neither did she seemingly look to hit it along the ground. But it just went flat and kept going.
Absolutely.
I suppose you could say it's a mistake. And Charlie Knott has picked up 2 wickets against her former team.
If you didn't hear the tannoy then, the incoming batter is Francesca Sweet, having her first season in the full professional cricketing world.
I must admit, I like the way she plays. I'm quite surprised at her stats this year. I don't think it does her justice. She's only striking at 95 per 100, but it is her first season in Tier 1.
Absolutely. Yeah, she played for Leicestershire last year in Tier 2.
But she is actually, by nature, quite an attacking player, which I find quite surprised that she's striking at below 100.
She is, and so we might not have seen as much as we'd hoped in Hampshire colours, but she's been picked up in the 100, so there's obviously something about her in the short format game. As she drives her last ball of knot into the covers for a dot ball. So I'll finish the over for you, Kev.
That's all right,
You're still recovering from illness.
Thank you.
Pull up the slack.
I was just reading an email actually, because I got one here from Ross Knuckles. Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk. He says, listening in Norwich. In Norfolk, yeah, thank you. Enjoying the commentary. I'm conflicted over who to support, as these two teams contain former players from the Vipers, who are my favourite team in the old setup. I'm also recovering from a nail-biting finish to yesterday's game between Essex and Somerset, who I now feel a great affinity for, with Niamh Holland snatching victory for Somerset in the final over. Apparently it was an error-stridden game. I was listening to somebody downstairs talking about it, actually. I didn't watch it myself, but I think Somerset winning that hasn't actually done either of these sides any favours, actually. I think Hampshire would have qualified had Somerset not won that. Already qualified, anyway.
I think you can wait till, what, about the 16th over of the second innings to decide who to support today. That's Kirsty Gordon's in, bowls, reverse sweep by Abby Norgrove, and she gets a good piece of that. Is racing away to the boundary, but so are two fielders in pursuit, and they do well to bring that back. Grace Ballinger, one of them. I can't see who the other one is. It might be Charlie Phillips. It's the far side of the boundary from us, and I don't have my binoculars today.
Why's that?
Just forgot them. Norgrove shuffles down the wicket and drives that. It just falls awkwardly in front of mid-off, and they'll come through for a second. It spooned off her, and they come through for two.
Marie Kelly sweeping up at mid-on. She's a former Southern Viper, Marie Kelly, back in 2019.
Back of a length and pulled through mid-wicket. There's a diving effort by short mid-wicket, and then Charlie Nutt does the tidying up on the boundary as they come through for a single. Kirsty Gordon, left arm round, full straight, worked onto the leg side, no run. Kirsty Gordon is currently 0 for 18 off her bowling, and that's tickled away onto the offside. They come through for a cheeky single. Two balls left of this ninth over. Hampshire 67 for 2. 2 wickets to fall. Ella McCacken and Georgia Adams. And they're just bringing over a fielder from the leg side, bringing her over to point. That's Catherine Bryce's. Francesca Sweet has a little shuffle down the track and pushes that up to wide mid-on for a single. And that will end the over. 6 off the over, Hampshire 68 for 2.
Just finish off this over. This is an email from Ross Knuckles. He goes on to say, finally, can you explain why in cricket, mostly in the longer forms, after a ball has been bowled and he's finding its way back to the bowler for the next delivery, player A, who has the ball in hand, throws it to player B, who immediately throws it back to player A, who then sends it on to player C to pass to the bowler? Why didn't player A just hang on to it? It has always puzzled me, says Ross. Well, I know what answer I would say. What answer would you say for that?
It might be a slightly different answer to yours, Kev.
Why is that?
Because I think I don't know what you're going to say, but I'm in agreement with
Ross.
With Ross, yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you why. I think is that it's a way of more players feeling the ball into their hands. So it's a comfort thing, you know. You get the ball back, throw it to somebody else, go back to me. It's just a way of keeping you sharp and getting more people with the ball. Right, we've got some leg breaks here from Josie Groves, who immediately bowls one outside the off stump to Abby Norgrove. So that's that one. A couple more emails which I'll get through. But of course, it's a little bit more difficult with T20 cricket, and especially with spinners on at the moment. Josie Groves. There's Bowles and Norgrove's trying to find that space between point and extra cover. Can't find it, goes to extra cover.
Yeah, not so much the passing it between the fielders, but on a similar theme. I'll tell you after this ball. Got spinner on. No time for chat.
Josie Grove playing her 5th match in this year's competition. That's pulled away by Norgrove up towards deep mid on. May look for 2 here. Ball in the fielder's hands. They want 2, but play it safe. 68 for 2. 69 for 2.
Yeah, when the ball's played out, and there's absolutely no run being taken, or no one's thinking of running. The ball's dead. I don't understand why people wing it into the keeper. And you're going to say the same thing, just to get that kind of like. Yeah. As a keeper, I just turn my back. Just send it back to the bowler. I don't need it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't need it.
Has the ball hit you when you've done that?
No, because the throwing's rubbish in my team,
right.
So it never comes near me anyway. But yeah, I just turn my back.
Norgrove drives and it's called to mid-off. Not quite carried. That's sweet, actually. Be interesting to see if that has gone all the way. I'll forget a replay of that one. Maybe not. Sweet moves on to 2 from 4 deliveries. Norgrove's 11 from 17. The 2 players out. And McCacken in the 4th over for 7. Georgia Adams for a 29 ball 49 in the 8th over. Both wickets falling to the former Hampshire player Charlie Knott as Norgrove works that away on the onside. That'll be a single up towards deep mid on. 71 for 2.
Yeah, I just think there's too much faffing in cricket sometimes, and you know that's one of the things where you can cut the faff. Don't give me the ball. I'm not bowling. Get it up that end. So yeah, Ross, I'm with you.
Well, you're a hard lady. That's full and driven out into the covers by Sweet, and there is no run. End of that over. So that is 10 overs completed. So we're halfway through the Hampshire innings. Just a reminder, Hampshire coming into this game in 1st place. A tie or a win will confirm their place in next week's finals day at the Oval. 4 teams involved this year for the first time, and that includes the regional competition before it as well. 71 for 2, and the Blaze in 4th, very much looking to be part of those 4 teams, as they were part of the 3 teams last year, although they lost in the semi-final. Mohammed Riaz has emailed. We're going to get a drinks break here, so we've got a few minutes. Mohammed Riaz, Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk, says, I haven't got any interesting stuff today to say. Okay, but he's still emailed. Except that I'm watching from Murray, which is near Rawalpindi in Pakistan. He sent me a picture of a working post office and red letterbox near his house, I presume that is. Well, it's a bit random, but thank you for the email anyway. Mike Streeter, Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk, says, why don't the women play with short boundaries, as they are quite capable of hitting the ball every bit as far as the men? Rather spoils the game, as it's either a single or a boundary, as there are few opportunities to run 2s or 3s. Be interested to hear your opinion, says Mike. I think that's a really good point. I think the boundaries here, I think even here this year, they've varied. There was one game, and don't ask me to name exactly the game, but I thought the boundaries were pretty big. And by nature you'll get more 2s and 3s, but I think that's important. You know, these 2s and 3s are every bit as important in these games as your 4s and 6s.
Yeah, once again, I'm just agreeing with everyone that emails in. But I did say on Sunday, I had a bit of a rant on Sunday, and I said that's my pet peeve as a commentator. It's something I always pick up on. Exactly that. The boundaries don't need to be that small. We've seen how well these girls time the ball. You know how far they can hit the ball. Exactly that. You need to open up the game. You have those pockets where you can get those 2s and 3s. And I think the better games are the boundaries that we have a little bit bigger. And they have been this year here, certainly here at the Utilita Bowl. Yeah. They have been a little bit bigger. Yeah. And I think it's made for better cricket.
Yeah, true. Top partnership of the game so far, the 35 between Adams and Norgrove for the 2nd wicket.
I don't think it's just a women's thing, though. There's kind of that thinking of just more sixes is better. That's one avenue of thinking. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but certainly in the IPL, they've made the boundaries a lot smaller, and just to bump up the scores. So it might not be a female thing necessarily, but some people think more sixes is better cricket.
True. It's more entertainment value, I suppose. Depends what you're looking to achieve when you're putting on and hosting games. Georgia Elwys is back into the attack with her second over. She's bowling from her commentary and the hotel end, and she will be bowling to Norgrove, who works that away on the onside. There is a deep mid-wicket fielder, so there is just a single. And Norgrove moves on to 13, and it is 72 for 2. Peter's back on the emails about throwing the ball around between the fielders. Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk. He says, on the chucking the ball around, I always thought it was done to keep players concentrated in the game. I think I sort of said that, really. Especially when wickets are hard to come by. Yep, that's a very good point as well. That's worked away behind square on the leg side, and the ball is going to run all the way over to the rope, or past the rope. And that is 4 runs to Francesca Sweet. That takes her on to 6 and Hampshire on to 76 for 2 in the 11th. And the great, not only when wickets are hard to come by, but also when the game drifts and sometimes into a lull. Yeah, I think that's perfectly summed up. Elwys with a right arm medium paces. Let's try to flick that away as Sweet. It's wrapped on the pad, and Sarah Bryce is quickly running round from behind the stumps.
I don't know, I think I've said to you before, Kev, it was probably last year sometime, but if you've seen that Michael McIntyre section he does on cricket?
No. Elwys bowls. Sweet this time. Does work it away on the leg side. Just the one. Hampshire 78 for 2.
As part of his observational humour, he does this bit on the amount of faffing in different sports, and obviously cricket features in that. And I won't say anything nice because I can't do the comedy justice, but it's well worth looking it up on your internet search. And he does observational humour on the faffing in cricket. It's quite funny.
Okay, let's work to mid-wicket. I'm going to take a quick single there. Doesn't quite go straight to the fielder. That's a well-judged single by Norgrove, who moves on to 14. Hampshire 79 for 2 in the 11th. Email here from Stephen Clark, Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk. Would there be a wish to return the ball to the bowler by the least risky route to avoid it hitting the ground, particularly if it's new? As that's straight to mid-wicket this time. I remember getting screamed at by the mid-off when I've let the ball touch the ground and ruin all his hard work by polishing it. I think, to be honest, if you're throwing the ball around underarm to fielders, you don't really expect them to be dropping the ball. Certainly not at a professional level.
Sorry, Steve.
Here's Elwys again, runs away from us. That's pulled away a little harder, but again it finds mid-wicket. And Sweet moves on to 8. She'll keep the strike at the end of that over. 11 gone, 80 for 2.
Yeah, I know I was saying earlier about being quite harsh and sort of turning my back as keeper, but I think there's a time and a place for it. Like you say, if you're trying to get people involved, you're trying to keep them concentrated, whatever the reason be, or if there's a seamer on that takes a huge run up and you've got time to do that, maybe that is a way. But sometimes when you've got especially a spinner on, sometimes they want the ball back. They bowl a dot ball, they want it back in their hand now, they want to bowl again if they get through their over quick. They don't want it to wait while it gets passed round. So I think there's a time and a place.
Yeah.
Charlie Knott bowled a fantastic first over. Wicket of Ellen McCacken and just a 1 run off it. She's going to be bowling her 3rd.
Interesting bowling speeds there. The first 3 balls of Georgia Elwys there. It's about a 20-25 miles per hour difference in those first 3 deliveries if you're watching on the live picture feed there.
Charlie Knott too sweet in bowls. And there's a semi-appeal for LBW. I think it's a bit high. Went over the top of the stumps. And Sarah Bryce sends that directly back to the bowler. As Knott has ball in hand again. Ready past umpire Rose Dovey. Bowls down the wicket is Sweet. And they come through for a single. Michaela Kirk does the fielding. Back into the side, having been out on loan. Northants, I think, in Tier 2 and then Essex.
Yeah, she played 1 match for Essex, didn't she?
Charlie not bowling in a hat. A reverse sweep by Abby Norgrove. And that's running away to the boundary. I think it will be stopped. Again, they're hunting in pairs. And Charlie Phillips does well to stop that going over the rope. Eagerly assisted by Marie Kelly as they come back for 2. Charlie not bowling round the wicket now to Abby Norgrove, who sweeps and sweeps well, sweeps hard, good connection, but there's a short fine leg, and that's stopped by Charlie Phillips.
Good fielding.
Yeah, it's not an easy position, short fine leg, especially when there's a hard sweep like that. You don't have vision very much before you have to jump into action. And this time it's full and outside off stump and playing a miss into the gloves of Sarah Bryce. Shaping up to be another good over from Knott. 5 balls in it, just the 4 runs. Last ball coming up. Full floated delivery driven back to the bowler. Fantastic over, just the 4 runs from it. Hampshire 84 for 2. Norgrove 17 off 22. Francesca Sweet 9 off 13.
2 for 11 from 3. Charlie Knott. What an impact she's having. The ground has got extra seating here for the T20 game on Saturday. We've mentioned it once or twice. It's a sellout. Apparently just over 19,000 with all this extra seating that's been put in. Normally it's around just under 15, I think I was told yesterday. Colin Sturmey is back on the, he's wading in on this throwing the ball to the keeper debate of yours, and the fact that you don't want it coming back to you when you're keeping. Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk, as Josie Groves is switching ends with her leg break. She's coming on at our commentary end. Her first over went for just 9. And she's in and bowls. Down the wicket comes Norgrove. Hits it in the air. It won't quite reach the rope, and it won't quite land in the hands of Catherine Bryce, running around from deep mid-on. The ball becomes dead, says Colin, when it finally rests in the gloves of the wicket-keeper or the hands of the bowler. That's why it's firstly thrown to the keeper. So basically what you're saying is you're preventing the ball from being dead.
No, in the hands of the keeper or the bowler. Give it to the bowler.
Ah,
Yeah.
right, okay. But maybe they don't want it until they're at the top of their mark. If neither you or the bowler wants it, the fielders haven't got anywhere to go, really. That's hit up to mid-off. And there's no run. See, that's thrown back to the keeper then.
But remember, I'm coming from a very different level to what we're witnessing out here. You know, these girls can, or these guys, when we're watching professional cricket, sit in and drives and single out to extra cover. You know, they're backing themselves to have a good hard flat throw to the keeper and the keeper stopping. I'm talking about club cricket, where a throw to the keeper could be, you know,
Right.
thrown over your head for 4. So I'm coming from a completely different level of cricket.
Okay.
If that helps.
So you don't want to run around too much, that's basically
Well,
what you're saying.
It's just needless when,
Okay.
you know, but. Josie Groves in, bowls, and down leg side, pulled away, just 1 run. Packed boundary field on the leg side, 3 patrolling the ropes out there. It was something that Boucher and Adams did really, really well on Sunday. The pitch dimensions on Sundays, she comes in and gives herself room, and Swede cuts that out to the deep fielder on the covers for 1. Yeah, I don't know if the rope's exactly the same, but it looks like it's longer, straighter today. So we had a very oval shaped pitch on Sunday, very, very deep either side of the wicket square, and she's in and bowls down the wicket, takes that on the full and works that onto leg side, come through for a single. And so yeah, we had a very long field, either, what am I trying to say, I'm getting my words all mixed up here, very long dimension square of the wicket, and they often had 2 fielders on the leg side fairly close together, and Maya Boucher, the way she just separated them with the timing and the placement was absolutely exquisite. It was it was just sort of right up there, world class kind of precision. 13 overs gone, Hampshire at 89 for 2.
Well, the boundaries are drying up here a little bit. We had a boundary on the second ball of the 10th over. So we've had 13 now. That was Francesca Sweet off Elwes. And the boundary previous to that was when Adams hit Charlie Knott for 6, and that was at the first ball of the 8th over. So the boundaries are drying up a bit as that's swept away on the leg side. Start of a new over from Kirsty Gordon at the far end with her left arm spinners. So Hampshire do have some big hitters to come, especially Amanda Jade Wellington. Nancy Harmon. Probably look to get those in soon, I think. So give them a go.
I've got a couple of strike rate stats if you want to hear them.
Love to hear them, please. Thank you, Gemma. Gordon from the pavilion end bowls, gives herself some room there. Sweet works it on the offside. Abby Norgrove is calling her through. Sweet will have to hurry here, gets home. Hesitation there from Sweet. She wasn't sure. Norgrove was doubly sure.
Yeah, those two batters we just mentioned to sort of give Hampshire a bit of hope to build on this platform they've got. I'll just keep you waiting one more ball.
Suspense as Gordon bowls. She's down the wicket, missed stumping. And that ball ricochets off Sarah Bryce's gloves down to short fine leg, and they'll run through for. Was there inside edge? Not sure. Not sure the umpire has signalled anything there. Maybe there is a slight inside edge on that one. Scores 92 for 2, halfway through over number 14 as Gordon bowls again, and Sweet drives up to extra cover. Again, it's just the one though. Go on then.
Yeah, and Amanda Jade Wellington had scored the quickest 50 in this competition last year for Somerset, but in this competition. And Nancy Harmon this year.
Gordon bowls. That's hit away on the leg side by Norgrove. I think they'll look for 2 here, or will they? No, they won't. They'll settle for 1 up towards deep. Wideish deep wide mid-on.
And Nancy Harmon is striking 174 this year in this competition, which is the highest of any batter to have scored 100 runs or more. So that's to come.
And Southby's striking at 150 this year per 100 balls, so there is some big hitters to come. These two need to be mindful of that as well, as Sweet pulls that away in the air over the top of mid-wicket, and there is a boundary. Well, we've been talking about it. There hasn't been one for a little while. There's one. But for me, against a strong Blaze side here, these boundaries need to be just a little bit more regular. 98 for 2, 14 gone.
Yep, 6 overs to go, and as we've said, it's a hard, dry pitch that does run quickly. You get value for your runs here, especially when you time it as well as Georgia Adams did earlier on in the innings. And Hampshire just that's broken a little sort of drying up phase we've been having, and hopefully that's the start of things to come for the final 6 overs.
Chris Edwards on the emails, hampshirecricket@bbc.co.uk says, I agree, the boundaries should be the same for the women's and the men's games. The ball and the wickets are the same size too. Actually, are the women's balls the same? I don't think they are. No, they're not.
Slightly smaller.
They are slightly smaller and slightly lighter.
Yes.
So that's not
quarter
true,
of an
I'm
ounce,
afraid.
Something.
Yeah.
It's fairly minimal, but... Is this my over?
I'll do it then, as that's driven to mid-on. I can't remember, actually. I was just thinking about the different sizes of the balls as well as that was coming in. It is actually my over because Josie Groves is bowling. You're completely correct.
Yes, very slightly smaller, very slightly lighter. Not to the naked eye, but you can feel it in the hand.
Yeah. Here's Groves again with her leg breaks, and that's hit away. Caught and bowled. Well, that is a good reaction catch from Josie Groves there. Rebecca Sweet not quite timing that drive as she came down the wicket, but nevertheless, she's taken that literally right in front of, I won't say her face, but close to it. Sweet goes for 17, and Hampshire are 99 for 3 in the 15th.
Yeah, caught and bowls, never easy. Some are easier than others, but they're never that straightforward, so it's a good chance. And Groves took it well.
So that is Rebecca Sweet innings coming to an end. Rihanna Southby, one of those that we've just been talking about. She's got a very good strike rate this year of 153 per 100 balls, just over 100 runs in 6 innings. She's mainly coming in now around these sort of situations, so not always in a situation where she can bat through the innings. Rihanna Southby been batting at 6, 7 in the first few games. She did bat 5 here against Yorkshire, but no higher. Hasn't batted in the last couple of games.
We've got just one other game in this competition going on today. They kicked off a little bit earlier, but that's Warwickshire at home to Surrey. Sorry, away to Surrey. I'll bring you an update of that score after the next ball. Just a reminder that Surrey are one of the teams very much in contention for finals day.
They're third at the moment, aren't they? As Southby tries to pull that away on the leg side, misses.
Warwickshire batted first, 180 for 5, 180 for 5. Top order did a fine job with Abby Freeborn 50. And Surrey are currently 73 for 1 inside the power play.
Groves bowls and Southby swings that away on the leg side. Now she's found the gap between the two fielders, but unfortunately hasn't quite got the power to get it over the boundary, but they will pick up 2. And that's the 100 up for Hampshire, 101 for 3 in the 15th. Yeah, Surrey sit third currently. They're playing their 11th match, so they only have one fixture to go after that, and that will be Hampshire at the Oval on Sunday. They have 28 points, 3 ahead of the Blaze currently, but Blaze have played 1 game less. As Southby swings up in the air, it's going to be a caught and bowled here. It's going to be the second caught and bowled of the over for Josie Groves, and Southby goes for just 2, and Hampshire now have lost 4 wickets with a score on 101.
Yeah, 2 very different styles of caught and bowl within the over, but they'll go in the book the same. Caught and bowled Groves. That one, big sweep by Rihanna Southby and a top edge that just spooned up to bowler Groves, who was very clear in her "this is mine." You can see her calling that and putting her hands out. So no other fielders converged to put her off. And it brings out Nancy Harmon.
Yeah, I think the innings needs a Nancy Harmon, doesn't it? It needs a Nancy Harmon. It needs Amanda Jade Wellington, really. And no, Naomi Tatani as well. Mustn't forget her. She's having a steady season with the bat as well.
While we're talking about strike rates, that's Surrey innings. So they're 77 for 1 off the power play, off 6 overs. Bryony Smith, 43 off 19 balls.
She does give it away. She just gets out. She's got out early a lot this year, hasn't she?
She has. She's going well today.
So this has been a good little period here for the Blaze. Hampshire had 71 off 10, and now coming towards the end of the 15th, they're on 101. Not really making the progress they would have expected. They were 61 for 1 at one stage in the 8th over. Now immediately that's hit on the leg side, and straight away Nancy Harmon has hit it for 6. Hello. Now there's a lady in form. Well, that's what a start that is. That's confidence for you.
It is. She's seen the demise of 2 of her teammates in this over, and she had the audacity to just shuffle down the wicket and, again, not overhit, but just pick that up over mid-wicket for 6. First ball, Nancy Harmon.
Well, the Norgrove Sweet partnership of 38 has been the top partnership of the innings so far, but you do feel that they haven't quite made the most of the time since Georgia Adams fell in the 8th over for that very quick 49 from 29.
Looks like Scotland's captain, Catherine Bryce, is going to bowl her second over. Her first over went for just 5. She bowls her medium pace swingers with her sister stood up with the gloves. Very common partnership. They've played a lot of domestic cricket in the same team together, and obviously internationally as well. There'll be Abby Norgrove on strike, who's currently 24 off 29. She's coming in past Rose Dovey. Bowls, bangs it in short. Norgrove rocks back and pulls that behind square. There's a fielder there, does well. They come back for a second. It's Josie Groves, having just taken 2 catches in her own over. Does well on the boundary now. There's no boundary fielder out on the offside square of the wicket, as that's whipped away onto the leg side for 1, brings Nancy Harmon onto strike.
It's still quite a big boundary. We're talking about boundaries. It's still quite a big boundary on the leg side, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I think it's decent here today. I thought it was a bit short straight on Sunday, but I think they've pulled that out a little bit.
Well, it's a good 50 yards on the leg side, if not more. It's certainly not less than 50. It's probably nearer 55.
Nancy Harmon, and pulls that onto the leg side behind square. Come through for a single. So yeah, 2 fielders out square on the leg side boundary, but if they can get it through the cover ring, there's no cover sweeper. Get it through or get it over. But Catherine Bryce bowling a very tight stump, off stump line. And this time, Abby Norgrove moves across to her off stump and pulls that away to square leg. 1 run.
Most people in this ground that are here are up at the far end where the shade is in the 2 stands. It's very hot at this end, hotel end of the ground, always is.
Down the wicket, Nancy Harmon, and finds the 1 fielder in the deep on the offside. She's at wide long off. They come through for a single.
I think it'd be quite pleasant in those up in the stand, the upper reaches of the Shane Warne.
Bit of breeze coming through.
Colin Mackenzie, that'd be lovely actually up there.
Norgrove on strike. Again, sort of a mini shuffle down the track and pulls that to mid-wicket. So they're taking the singles that are on offer here. End of the over, 16th over. Hampshire 114 for 4 to go.
Right, an email here from Slupsk, I think it is, in northwest Poland, from Chris Stankiewicz. I make absolutely no apologies for my poor pronunciation. And Chris, I hope I haven't done you a disservice and got that wrong. Enjoying the game, says Chris. The Blaze are back in it with good, accurate bowling and keen fielding, as Josie Groves has just demonstrated with that excellent Corton bowl. Thank you very much. But the weather's good there as well. Across Europe, it's been amazing as well, isn't it? Not just here. Good cricket weather. Almost too good. It's too good,
Do
actually.
you thrive or just survive in this?
Do I?
Yeah, in this excessive heat.
I look for shade. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't say I suffer, but I don't go out looking for heat.
Yeah, not a sun worshipper. No, not at
No,
all.
I'm not. No, I've got fair skin,
No.
and even when I played, I had to be careful. But I'm not to know. Whenever we go on holiday somewhere hot, and my wife, she's outside, loves it. I'm always under a tree or
Same.
under a bush or something. Something anyway. Something with a bit of shade. Started a new over from Grace Ballinger, the left arm seamer. She bowled the 1 over, you'll remember, early on from the pavilion end, and her first 3 deliveries went for 4 from Georgia Adams. So that 1 over cost her 13. Here she is with her 2nd over. She's coming round the wicket, she walks across her stumps, and she's bowled. She's come across her stumps too far there, Abby Norgrove. She's been doing it quite a lot in this innings, trying to scoop it away on the leg side. This time she's way outside off stump, and the leg stump has come out of the ground. She goes for 29 from 34, and Hampshire are 114 for 5.
Yeah, Ballinger bowled a little bit too short in her first over in the power play, but that was certainly fuller, obviously straight, and like you say, Abby just went 1 too many with giving herself a bit too much room. It brings in Naomi Tatani, number 11 on her back.
And the new batter for the Hawks is number 11, Naomi Tatani.
And yeah, since the start that Hampshire had, especially with Georgia Adams' innings of 49, you've got to say Blaze have pulled themselves right back into this game.
Well, nobody else has looked at home on this track like Georgia Adams, even though Abby Norgrove's done a good job.
A keeper then, I just saw on the replay, Sarah Bryce, she caught the stump. The ball knocked the stump out the ground and she caught the stump.
Good keeper.
Yeah, good hands.
So Naomi Tatani, who's done a pretty decent job as well in the middle order for Hampshire. 123 runs from 6 innings. She's striking at 110. I think you need players in here now that are striking 100 plus. Because for me, Hampshire are a bit short. I think this has been a good effort here from the Blaze. Good comeback after Georgia Adams put them under pressure early on. Tatani is bowled. Well, she's done it again, has Grace Ballinger. And her first over was all over the place. The 2nd over, she's arrowed in at the stumps and she's been rewarded. And Tatani has bowled first ball and she's on a hat-trick as Grace Ballinger.
Absolutely disappointed with Sarah Bryce not catching that stump. But yeah, leg stump very much on the ground. 2 from 2 for Grace Ballinger in this ball, in this over. She's on a hat-trick.
Well, Hampshire need to be careful here because not only have they been sort of held back somewhat, they are now starting to lose wickets. And Amanda Jade Wellington, I should imagine, is the next batter in.
She is, yeah. Well, we've got the two at the crease that we were bigging up earlier in terms of strike rates and ability to get a score moving. And they've got 3.4 overs in which to do so. But Grace Ballinger, left arm seam, first over 0 for 13, second over 2 balls, 2 wickets.
Wow. Oh, here we go. Grace Ballinger on a hat-trick. Amanda Jade Wellington to face. She switches to round the wicket. Ballinger comes in then and bowls, and Wellington just plays it away on the leg side. There's a shout for LBW, mainly from keeper Sarah Bryce. I'm not sure it looked
I think
that
it was
close.
A hat-trick appeal.
Was it one of those?
It hit the pad, so you're going to shout, but you could see from the keeper that she was already moving down leg side to take that before it hit the pad. So yeah, I think it was a hopeful hat-trick appeal. Yeah. It was quickly aborted. They didn't really follow through with it, but very well bowled from Ballinger. Again, just arrowing in at the stumps.
I think Wellington was just deliberately making sure she didn't do anything silly there. Coming down the wicket here and driving down towards deep mid-on is Nancy Harmon. I think she's going to carry on playing the same way, no matter the fact that Hampshire are losing wickets fairly regularly here. 2 in the 15th and 2 in the 17th. And they are 116 for 6 with 2 balls left of this 17th over. Just Georgia Adams, really the one standout innings. 49 from 29. As Ballinger bowls, Wellington gives herself some room and guides that away behind square on the offside for 4. Well, there's a lot of experience there from the Australian, and I think Hampshire just need this here. This might be the ideal combination actually in these closing overs. Both positive players, but Nancy Harmon obviously the least experienced, even though she's been around a little while.
That was really well played. You could see exactly where she meant that to go. And yeah, there's not too many number 8s on the circuit that would play that shot with such precision. Just guiding that through the 2 fielders behind square on the off.
Email here from Nigel, who's in Glasgow. Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk. Just a slight pause here. I'm thoroughly enjoying the excellent and informative commentary. I hope he's got the right game. As a Scottish rookie follower of English cricket, as that's full and it's worked to square on the offside by Wellington. There's a dot ball there. That's an eventful over there from Grace Ballinger. Started off with a chance of a hat-trick. There was a boundary in there, a much needed boundary for Hampshire towards the end of it. And Ballinger bowling there, you'll see on the ticker tape around the 65, 66 miles an hour mark consistently in that over. So 17 gone, 3 to do, and Hampshire are 120 for 6. So Nigel goes on to say he's a rookie follower of mostly English cricket. I find the insights and explanations very helpful. Gemma's stats are also very helpful. If you only could see her now, Nigel. However, when we do get to discuss tea and said obligatory cake, or when do we get to discuss tea and obligatory cake? Not today, we don't really get it, actually. I feel it would be rude not to join you at tea and look forward to hearing your thoughts. Boundaries should be the same size, surely.
Catherine Bryce in, keeper stood up, and that's pulled and pulled hard by Nancy Harmon, who hits the first ball for 4 off this Catherine Bryce over.
Yeah, Nigel just finishes off to say boundaries should be the same size. Surely some of the ladies can give it a fair old thwack. Well, as we've just seen there, Nancy Harmon doesn't have too much trouble.
No, I think that ball would reach most boundaries.
Yeah, I think there is a lot more women around that can hit the ball now. I mean, you've been in commentary, with me on various games since COVID year in the regional area. There are a lot more women players now that can find the boundary than ever there used to be.
Bryce coming up for her second ball, and that's driven on the offside. It doesn't beat the ring, and they come through. Nancy Harmon looked laboured there in her run, but gets home in the end. I don't think she set off quite as with quite the intention that she needed, but gets home safe and dry. Yeah, like I was saying earlier, though, I don't think it's necessarily about women not being able to hit the boundaries. I think it's more trying to just bump the score up, that some competition, organisers or ground hosts, whatever. So Bryce comes in and reverse sweep by AJ Wellington, and that goes over the short third man for 4.
Just over Ballinger's head. Yeah.
So,
that's a good point, actually.
So I do agree that, as I say, for the quality of the game, but I don't think it was ever that women can't hit the big boundaries. It was more that if we bring them in, there'll be more boundaries, and that just makes sense, whatever cricket you're playing, men's or makes sense as in a theory. But as I said earlier, I just think it's a better game when batters can look for those pockets of 2s or maybe even 3s. It just adds an extra element. Bryce in and worked down leg side, trickles down to short fine leg. They come through for a single.
Yeah, there's much more urgency in the Hampshire innings now with these 2 at the crease, as we expected. But yeah, no, good point you make, Gemma, as always, along with your stats. You're quite useful, actually, aren't you?
Oh, thanks. That's the first time you've ever said that to me.
Oh.
Bryce in, and that's driven through extra cover. Come through for a single.
Mike Unwin, who's a volunteer stroke trustee at the Somerset Cricket Museum, has emailed hampshirecricket@bbc.co.uk, says he's enjoying the coverage, hoping for a Hampshire win to keep Somerset's hopes of qualifying alive after a brilliant win at Essex last night with Niamh Holland's 90 not out.
Bryce in, driven up the ground. They come through for a single. So 8 off the over. Hampshire 1-3-2 for 6.
There was a guy downstairs who says he was at that game last night, and he reckons that Essex didn't set the right field to Holland. But I suppose that's easy to say when somebody's got 90 not out. Anyway, he says, why is it a caught and bowled and not, in sequence, a bowled and caught? Now, Gemma, you've got an answer to everything. What's that one?
No, there's lots of quirks in cricket, aren't there? It's always caught. It's how the wicket's out first, isn't it? So it's caught first. It's not bowled.
Right.
The wicket is caught, and then you say who it's been bowled by.
Okay.
So yeah, you'd say caught James, bowled Green.
Yeah.
If we were in tandem, because you took the catch, so it's no different if it's caught and bowled. It's caught and bowled. So I guess it's how the wicket falls comes first.
Yeah.
And then bowled by.
Good shot. Yeah. That's a very unlikely dismissal. Let's be honest. Caught James bowled Green.
Why can you not catch?
No. Not now, anyway. Right, we got 2 overs left here at a very warm, sweltering Utilita Bowl, which the capacity has been boosted for the T20 game on Saturday, England-India. It's not been boosted for here. But nevertheless, with those extra seating here, it looks a very big stadium indeed. Chris Edwards is back on the emails, hampshirecricket@bbc.co.uk, saying sorry, and that was in reference to him saying that the balls were the same shape and size. That's easy. It's an easy mistake to make. Don't worry. Most people think that the boundary discs are 30 yards like the men. They're not. They're 25 for women. Ballinger is in again. It's down the leg side, flicked away. It's gone to short, fine leg, and Harman, he's home, running the bat in there, just like you should do, like you're taught.
As I say, having played women's cricket for years, sometimes you can't tell by the naked eye, especially with some brands of cricket where they've got a more pronounced seam maybe to start with. They don't look that much smaller than a men's ball, but it is very, very slight. So no apology needed. It's not that easy to tell.
Very nice of you. 133 for 6 with 11 balls left of the Hampshire innings. Harman is 15 from 7, facing the next delivery from the left arm round Ballinger, and he swings that up to mid-off, not really timed. 134 for 6, Harman on to 16. Chris Edwards is back on again and says, who decides where the boundaries are placed? It's normally the home side.
Yep. There's obviously minimum dimensions, but outside of that, yeah, very much the home side. Obviously, they choose the wicket they're going to play on, and then...
That's all. Home side decide. I remember a few years back here when Hampshire had a lot of spinners, Hampshire men I'm talking about, the boundaries were really small. And it's confused the opposition. That's a good full delivery there from Ballinger. Wellington dicks it out on the offside. They'll pick up a single. 130 125 for 6. Steve Conn says, why is there always this music for T20s? Well, it's a bit like when we were talking earlier about getting the fielders G'd up with a ball game from A to B to C and back to the keeper, and not Gemma because she doesn't want it.
It's to keep Kev awake.
It's right. It's to keep the audience sort of enthused and sort of, you know, in the game and feeling that there's no lull. It's all part of the package. 135 for 6. Ballinger bowls full, good take, and she's bowled. No, she's got under the bat. It's a full delivery, and Harmon trying to swing that away. It's just clipped the bottom of the stumps there. Harmon goes for 16, and Ballinger picks up her 3rd wicket. What a good comeback it is from her after the first over. And Hampshire now are 135 for 7. Need to watch that one again. That hasn't gone. I don't think that's gone full into the stumps. It doesn't matter. You don't need to smash the stumps down. It just needs to make sure that at least a bail comes off. That's all that needs to be done. Poppy Tulloch is the new batter for Hampshire.
Yeah, as we've been saying for a couple of overs now, Blaze have pulled this back really well, and Hampshire haven't quite had an answer to that. We've mentioned a few batters that have a very good strike rate that have come and gone now. Southby, Harmon, Datani. All come and gone without too much destruction. And yeah, Blaze, having lost the toss, asked to bowl.
It's just clipped the bottom of that leg stump, isn't it? Just the one bail's come off.
As you say, Kev, that's all that's needed.
There's no point, is it? Bold is bold.
Bold is bold, absolutely. That's all it takes to break the wickets. And yeah, Grace Ballinger, 3 for 20. 0 for 13 off her first over.
So she's got what, 3 for 7?
3 for 7.
And she is then around the wicket, away from us, and that's a length ball, and they'll take a single out towards extra cover. The fielders are now a little deep now on the 25-yard circle. Obviously happy that Hampshire to take the single. They don't really want to concede too many ball boundaries in these last 7 or 8 balls. It does feel Hampshire are a bit light here. They were 71 for 2 after 10. They certainly haven't kicked on here. Good comeback from the visitors. Ballinger comes in again, bounds in, and reverse sweep there from Wellington, and she's got the ball very fine. It may run all the way up towards the pavilion. It has. It's gone over the rope, and Wellington, again, using her experience here, picks up her 3rd boundary of her innings. She moves on to 14, and with 1 over left, Hampshire are 140 for 7.
Yeah, it's good from Wellington, because when you think of lower order batters that have a good strike rate, they usually come in and throw the bat at it. That's how they, with sort of no reserve, and that's how those lower orders usually have their pumped up strike rate. But she's come in and she's just guided the ball off, especially when there's pace on the ball. So we saw her first 4 just guided through that 3rd man region, and this time a reverse sweep off the pace of Ballinger. Really good from Wellington.
It just felt sweet, especially in Norgrove, were just squeezed a little bit there, weren't they? Really, you kind of just wanted them to be a little bit more expansive, but take nothing away from the Blaze. They bowled very, very tightly indeed. But you just feel that maybe just a few balls used up between those two. Wellington, ideally, you know, you want to win a bit earlier, don't you?
Right, not to finish the proceedings, and first ball is driven down the ground by Tulloch. Come through for a single. It puts AJ Wellington on strike.
Yeah, I think this is ideal from a Hampshire point of view. You kind of want her now to be facing the majority of these last 5 balls. The field is up behind square. I think the flick on the leg side and the reverse sweep is on for Wellington here.
Talk about the discipline. There's only been 2 wides. That's the only bowling extras in the entire innings so far. From the Blaze as Charlie knocks in and bowls, and another attempt at reverse sweep by Wellington, and she gets it through. I thought that was stopped on the ring. I'm having trouble picking up the ball here, but she beat the offside ring, and that's another 4.
I'm just wondering if that ball spun a little bit, because it looked like it should have been picked up. It looked for all the world it was going to be just a single. It was a low full toss actually. Maybe just the pace on the ball
hit it well.
Surprised the fielder there.
So not bowling her off spin round the wicket, down the wicket. AJ goes, and that's going to be caught, or was it dropped just short? No, it is caught. Sorry, there was a lack of celebration from the Blaze, and I thought they'd be a bit more pumped up at getting the wicket of Wellington at this stage. But yeah, this time she does try and hit it in front of square, down the ground to wide, long on, but straight into the hands of the deep fielder.
Well, 18 of 10 balls is what's required. Certainly the strike rate at this stage. 145 for 8. Michaela Kirk. Good catch, actually. She had to sort of dive forward to take that at deep mid on. It was a good strike, really. It's a big boundary up that far in. So where are we now with Wellington out and Hampshire 8 down? Daisy Gibb, I guess, is the new batter who's playing her first match for a while after the hand injury. And remember, Hampshire are a batter light in this game with no Baya Boucher. Daisy Gibb, the seam bowler, taking her place effectively. So Hampshire are 1 batter down.
Just 3 balls remaining. Charlie Knott 3 for 16 as she's in and bowls over the wicket to the new batter Gibb. Very similar area. This is hoiked into the mid-wicket region, and there's a diving effort, one-handed diving effort, but it's gone for 6.
Oh, Daisy Gibb. I say Hampshire are 1 batter light. I take that back. What a strike that is, over wide, deep mid on. Well, that's as good as anything we saw from Adams. What a strike.
Well, there we go. 6 off the first ball, 2 balls to come. Not in, and this time tries to heave it on the leg side. It went down leg, but there's no signal of the wide from the umpire, so it must have hit something on the way through. So it's a dot ball, a very important dot ball for Blaze. There's Hampshire 151 for 8, 1 ball left of this innings. Not to Gibb. Play and miss outside off stump. Really good finish to the over by Charlie Knott, and that does end the innings. Hampshire, who won the toss and elected to bat, 151 for 8 at the innings break.
Yeah, a good comeback from the Blaze there. Hampshire at one stage 61 for 1 in the 8th over when George Adams lost her wicket, 49 from 29. She was by far and away the batter that really got on top of the bowling. 29 from Abby Norgrove at number 3 from 34. Francesca Sweet with 17 from 20. Nice strike from Daisy Gibb at the end there, although missed out on the last 2 balls. They were dot balls. And 3 wicket apiece there for Grace Ballinger and for Charlie Knott. Ballinger with 3 for 25 from her 3 after the first over went for 13. Knott with 3 for 22 from her 4. And there was a couple of wickets for the leg spinner, Josie Grove, who took 2 for 17. 2 caught and bowls in 1 over. Grace Ballinger was on a hat-trick at one stage. So Hampshire 151 for 8. And when we come back, with commentary of the Blaze innings, they will need 152 for victory. Thank you for the moment, Gemma Green. We're staying, we'll just take a break on the live picture feed on the Hampshire Cricket website. But we're staying, if you're on with us on the BBC Sport website and app, and also on Sports Extra 3. We are just going to play you a little piece here in between the innings. We won't be able to play you the full piece because it's about an hour long. But this year, the Utilita Bowl is celebrating 25 years as a ground. 2001 was the very first games here. Hampshire men played back in May 2001, and I did a piece earlier on this year basically working through the concept of this new ground and also how it's got to today. As I say, you won't be able to hear it all, but this will be a snippet. If you want to listen
the Thatcher's family farm. Making cider with nothing but love and skills. Delivering perfection for over a century.
"25 years of flight. The Hawks are back. Come fly with us."
Doesn't even have to run. He's been waiting for the square cut. He plays it beautifully. Nice personal milestone for Robin Smith. He's
in a memorable game. Hampshire have taken this game with 153 batting first.
Straight away, Peterson's gone. Shane Warne once again been quite brilliant. Changed the game. Yes, it does. There it is. That means that Hampshire are the winners of the Friends Provident Trophy 2000. No! They can't get there! And Hampshire Royals have done it! The scores...
The Southern Vipers have won the inaugural Kia Super League.
100 from Riley Rousseau, a moment to remember. Been an innings of real quality for Hampshire.
Get themselves over the line emphatically to defeat the reigning champions, Hampshire. Oh my word! It's the biggest of the lot.
addressed a sombre gathering.
I called a special meeting of the committee on a Saturday morning, and I explained the situation to the committee from a legal point of view. And I said to them, look, you cannot carry on trading because you can't afford to pay the builder and subcontractors at the next stage. And as a members club, ultimately, you would have personal liability. That didn't go down very well.
Hampshire were at a crossroads. They faced the very real prospect of folding. At that same meeting, a local businessman and dead keen Hampshire fan, Rod Bransgrove, who'd been recently voted onto the committee, was present.
They recognised that they were in some dire straits and didn't quite know what to do about it. Really, the project had got out of hand. And they spoke to me, asked me if I might be prepared to take over as chairman, which wasn't really something that was on my agenda. But Malcolm DeBar made a sort of impassioned plea and said that he'll help me with the technicalities. I said, look, I'll only do it in the event that that I can have proper control, and that we would have to, demutualise the business and form a proper limited company with a board of directors, professional people who run a professional business. And that's the only condition under which I'd take it.
Take it he did, after everyone agreed it was the best course of action. The club had been saved from extinction. But Rod Bransgrove had to convince the members of his plan.
And what I pledged them was that I'd commit myself entirely to providing, a competitive team in all forms of cricket. There weren't that many in those days, but in white ball and red ball cricket, a ground to be proud of and where we could encourage international cricket to be played, and a secure future, which would mean that Hampshire cricket would never again be threatened. And that was the key point. We had to build a business around what was then called the Rose Bowl, the site. We had to build a business around that, which would be sustainable in the long term.
The members were convinced and backed their new chairman, while Rod Bransgrove went about getting the project back up and running and changing Hampshire at the same time. Cricket went ahead at the Rose Bowl in 2000. Some scheduled second 11 matches were played, but facilities were at a bare minimum. A half-finished pavilion was boarded up with no money to fit it out, and players changed in semi-permanent marquees. For the 2001 inaugural season, in which the first team were due to play a full schedule, 6,000...
Well, welcome back to the Utilita Bowl, where we are coming towards the end of the break between innings of this game in this T20, Vitality T20 women's game between Hampshire and the Blaze. First versus fourth in the tables going into this game. Hampshire have already batted, having won the toss. They're 151 for 8. Now, if you watch on the live picture feed, you've got the pictures there. We're just about to get underway with the Blaze reply. If you've been listening on Sports Extra 3, then you will have heard a tape with the ground here celebrating 25 years since it hosted its first professional first-class game, and that was an excerpt from a BBC Sounds piece that I put together earlier this season. If you want to hear more of that, and it's about an hour, then just in your browser type in BBC Sounds Utilita at 25 and it will come up, and you'll be able to pick up the full hour-long episode. I'm Kevin James, next to me Gemma Green, and we're just about to get underway. This is 3 matches to play for these two sides as they head towards finals day, which is next Friday at the Oval. Hampshire in prime position, the top of the table. Blaze, as I said, in the last of the 4 places of the teams that will contest that finals day at the Oval. So a lot on this game for both sides, Gemma. Hang on. Let's do that. Bex Tyson is bowling her left arm spinner. Sorry, because I've been doing all sorts of technical bits here during the break, and I've now got you back in. There we are, Gemma. You are here, aren't you?
I'm with you.
You are good. That's good. Right, I'll let you carry on the rest of the over.
I was just saying, Bex Tyson to open the bowling, as she often does for Hampshire. It's her second ball, and Kelly's down the wicket and makes light work of that, as it's 1 bounce for 4 over long on.
Kelly, who's hit 240 runs in 9 innings so far in this year's competition, striking at 128, could start from her second ball up.
Absolutely, yeah. Bex Tyson normally opens up with a very tight over. Second ball's gone for 4. Bex Tyson's picked up wickets in every game this season, and that's fairly rare in T20 when you can obviously only bowl 4 overs maximum. This time slightly back of the length and pulled, but pulled straight. And it goes to the same area, different shot, same area, same result. 4 runs. Mary Kelly's off.
So 150. Marie
Sorry.
Kelly, yeah. Lizzie's got a sister. 152, just to repeat, is the victory target for Blaze here. Top scorer in the Hampshire innings, Georgia Adams, who was the second batter out for 49 off just 29 deliveries. Probably the only batter that really looked at home out there in those 20 overs.
Yeah, she did. We both felt that the score was perhaps slightly undercooked, but Hampshire do have a very good bowling attack. And next ball from Tyson is whipped to square leg, and there's no run there. They're good bowling attack and reinforced today with Daisy Gibb coming in for no one in terms of the bowling unit. She's come in for Maya Bouchier. So they are playing an extra bowler today. So, yeah, 151 on the board. Bex Tyson in for her 5th ball. Fuller, straighter, and played with a little bit more respect by Kelly, that one, as she just defends that off for no run.
Yeah, imagine Georgia Adams is 49 off just 30 deliveries with 7 4s and 2 6s. So that's hit away over the top of mid-off. Did a quick update here because we're in the first over of the Blaze reply to the Hampshire total of 151 for 8. There are already 12 without loss, 3 boundaries from Marie Kelly in that over. Earlier in the Hampshire innings, Georgia Adams striking a 29 ball 49, looked to the only batter at home, and Blaze came back into it. Grace Ballinger was on a hat-trick at one stage. There was 2 wickets and an over for leg spinner Josie Groves. So the Blaze are 12 without loss after 1 over, chasing 152 for victory. So it looks like Naomi Datani is going to bowl from the pavilion end.
Yeah, this is the same combination that Hampshire went with on Sunday. Left arm spin from one end, left arm seam from the other to open up at each end.
Right, Tatani bowls. It's turned away on the leg side for a single. And the Blaze move on to 13 without loss. And Georgia Elwis with her first delivery against her former side, although it was the Southern Vipers back then. She never actually played for Hampshire, did she? She moved in the last year of the regional competition.
She jumped ship before they got rid of the orange.
Yeah. Here's Tatani, left arm over from the pavilion end, bowls, and Kelly's going to get a quick single out there to extra cover. That's a really good run. That is a very, very good run indeed. I think that's... Who's that coming in there? Is that Nancy Harmon? No, it's not Nancy Harmon, is it? Anyway, it's a good run. It's a very good run. There's boundaries. There's quick running between the wickets. It's a good start here from the Blaze. Remember, 152 is the victory target as Datani comes in again. And bowls to Elwis. And Elwis on the back foot. There's squeezed that one behind square on the offside where there's another gap. And it's 15 without loss.
Yeah, Georgia Elwis, I was going to say it's a good move to the Blaze, but she scored a lot of runs for Hampshire. Vipers. You normally say it's a good move when someone's struggling at one club and moves and kicks on, but she's continued her run scoring. She was top run scorer for the Blaze in this competition last year with 412.
Tatani in again to Marie Kelly, who pulls that away on the leg side. That's going to be 4 runs through mid-wicket. Powerfully struck all along the ground. Kelly moves on to 17, 19 without loss. Good start.
Yeah, so Elle was top run scorer in this format for the Blaze last year, and the second run scorer in the 50 over. So I say very much continued the run scoring rate that we got used to when she was with Vipers. Scored a lot of runs in that orange shirt.
So Marie Kelly to face Datani once more. Comes in, runs towards us, left arm over and bowls. Kelly gives herself some room, smacks it away on the leg side. Doesn't really time it. There's been a deep mid-wicket posted now for Kelly. Just a single. That's Rebecca Sweet out there at deep mid-wicket. Kelly moves on to 18 from just 19 deliveries. sorry, 9 deliveries, 20 without loss. 11 balls only have been bowled by Hampshire, and already the Blaze have knocked 20 of the 152 runs they need. Came into this game having won 6 of their 9. They've lost 3, including their last 2 against Surrey and Durham. As Elwes plays that late, it's gone through third man, past a diving Tyson, it's gone for 4. Oh, 2 good overs here. Hampshire are really struggling already.
They are. We said we possibly thought it wasn't quite a pass score from the home side that opted to bat first, and this isn't the start that they would have hoped for. Marie Kelly's come out all blazing.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're playing the extra bowler here, Hampshire. They'll need it because both Tyson and Datani, both their opening overs have gone for 12.
Just to give you a bit of an update on this top of the table, we said before today's play, Hampshire were top, followed by Durham, then Surrey, then the Blaze. Surrey have just finished their game against Warwickshire, which they won fairly comfortably, very comfortably. It may even be a bonus point situation. I can't confirm that for you at the minute, but they chased down 180 in 15 overs, so I think that is a bonus point. Laura Harris, 81 off 46, striking at 252 to bring Surrey's victory, so that puts them very much in contention for topping this table. Gibbs in, bowls, and pulled. It's cut away, sorry, on the offside, not timed. It was in the air for quite a while, but luckily for the Blaze, it just looped over the head of the fielder. But Hampshire do have a game in hand, so they're up there with those 4. They do have a game in hand over the likes of Surrey, so got a little bit more left in their season before finals day, should they get there. Daisy Gibb into Kelly, short and wide outside off stump, cut away, and goes all the way to the boundary. Rose Dovey, she's been signalling 4s or quite a bit this innings. Signals up to the score box, where today we've got Caroline Green and Chris Drew. There'll be a busy pair. The scorer is acknowledging those signals if Marie Kelly continues like this. Gibb running in, bowls, beats the bat this time as it goes through to the keeper, Rhianna Southby. Georgia Adams just tinkering with her boundary fielders. Did have 2 out on the leg side. She's now brought the fine leg boundary rider up into the circle and sends back the third man. So the 2 boundary fielders are deep third man and deep mid wicket. Gibb is in, charging in past the stumps, bowls back of a length, pulled. It's pulled out to that fielder on the leg side. There's a little fumble and it does allow Blaze to come back for 2.
That'd be Norgrove out there.
It's all it takes when you've got athletes like this in the middle. Little fumble on a deep boundary is all they need sometimes to get back for that second, and it keeps Marie Kelly on strike, who's 26 off just 13 deliveries. As we're in the 3rd over of this reply. Reminder, Blaze are chasing 152 for victory. Daisy Gibb, pretty long run up, especially in this heat. She's charging in. Bowls outside off stump, played with really nice soft hands by Kelly. We've seen her blast it around, and this time she just drops the hands into the offside, sets off quickly. Lovely single, nice batting.
They've got a real problem here, Hampshire, haven't they, really? Good balls are going, they're scoring a single off. Bad balls are going for 4. They've really put Hampshire under pressure here, the Blaze, very early on in their innings.
We say they did, the Blaze did the double over Hampshire last year, beating them home and away. Only playing them once in the format this year. This is it. Gibbs into Elwes, full and straight, defended by Elwes. That ends the over. Another good over for the Blaze. 33 without loss after 3.
Hampshire had 26 at this stage, but that was Georgia Adams firing on all cylinders early on, wasn't it? So they made a fast start as well, Hampshire. The Blaze are even quicker here. And Hampshire never really got to kick on. 50s and 60 miles an hour mixture there for Daisy Gibb in her first over. So with 18 balls, make that 2 a ball if scoring that. Is that right? Is that my maths right? I think it is, isn't it? No, it's not quite. Nearly. It's near. It's near enough. It's as good as. Bex Tyson is going to try her luck at the pavilion end now. 13 wickets in this year's competition. You said she's been taking wickets at every game.
Played in every game, taken at least 1 in every game, which they're saying in 20 over cricket isn't necessarily easy to do.
It's not. Left arm round the wicket, then bowls, and Kelly's trying to find the angle out on the offside in the end, has to just pat it back to the bowler. She's taken 17 wickets in the 50 over competition this year as well, so she is a big wicket taker. Comes in again and bowls, and Kelly comes down the wicket. Oh, she's got an inside edge on that one. Luckily for her, the ball squirts out to Amanda Jade Wellington. Oh, is it a Wellington?
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah. Just on the short fine leg boundary, but that could have quite easily been a stumping chance there for Rihanna Southby. 34 without loss. Kelly is 28 from 16. Georgia Elwes 6 from 4, facing the next delivery. As Tyson bowls, Elwes uses her feet and just pushes that into the gap at mid-on where the fielder is deep. Again, that's just experience there from Elwes. Knows Marie Kelly is making all the running. All Elwes has to do is keep the scoreboard ticking along. She'll have done that so many times over the years. As Tyson bowls, Kelly pulls that away strongly out on the leg side, out to deep mid-wicket. That's Nancy Harmon out there for Hampshire, who made a quick entrance with a 6 off the very first ball she faced. Made 16 off 9 before she became the first of Grace Ballinger's potential hat-trick.
She did played a role in the previous game on Sunday as a bowler only. Her first.
Down the wicket comes Elwes and drives it up to mid-off.
Was her first opportunity to bowl in this competition, 9 games in. She came on to complete an over, so the first ball she had to bowl of the competition was a free hit. Bowled it beautifully, dot ball, next ball, full bunger, got a wicket, the biggest wicket of that innings as well.
Always a potential wicket taker, those. Sweep shot, which has gone fine, it's gone fast, and it's gone for 4 off the bat of Georgia Elwes, and she moves on to 11, and the Blazes' good start to this innings continues. After 4 overs, they are 40 without loss. She used to do a lot of leg spin bowling, Nancy Harmon, when she started her career with the Vipers. She bowled less and less basically over the last few years.
Yeah, she gives the ball a really big rip. As, you know, I know a lot of leggies do, but she really does. And I think she's bowled a little bit in the 50 over this year. And like you say, she's certainly been used as a bowler in the past, but I think her batting's just come on. It's not just discredit her bowling as such, but I think she's just seen as a genuine ball striker, as a sort of first discipline, which is she's done really well this season.
Yeah.
Gibbon bowls full straight, defended by Kelly.
Interesting, when Daisy Gibb was injured with that, I think she actually had an operation on her fingers, didn't she? And she came up here a couple of times in the commentary box and had a chat, firstly about the injury and then about being in the 100 auction, which was actually a couple of really good chats. And now she was watching the auction live and she was thinking, oh gosh, I hope I go for a few quid. And yeah, it's very, very, very enjoyable.
Well, she's in now, keeper's up, Southby's up. Very Kelly moves in front of her off stump and tries to scoop that over the keeper's head. It did go over the keeper's head and it went for 4, but a bit of an edge took it more third man than fine leg where she was aiming for, but it's another 4 to Marie Kelly nevertheless, who's ticking along more than nicely.
Well, Marie Kelly's looking a real danger here, isn't it? I mentioned she played for the Southern Vipers before. She played in the last year of the Kia Super League. The Vipers lose in the final that year to Western Storm. She only played 5 matches in the competition. She was batting sort of middle order, didn't really have much to do.
Gibbs in again. Kelly Ostrich again gives herself room, and this time she's bolder. A little bit like we saw with Abby Norgrove earlier. She's gone one too many, trying to give herself a little bit of room on the offside. Walked across her stumps, and the delivery was straight and full. And that is an important wicket for Hampshire. Kelly goes 33 off just 20 balls. She's done a little bit of damage here in the start of the Blazers' reply. Hampshire will be very delighted to see the back of her.
Email here from Chris Elliott, hampshirecricket@bbc.co.uk. He says, I'm sitting propped up in an armchair following a serious operation and radiotherapy, medicated up to my eyebrows, says Chris. I find that your coverage of the Vitality Blast games, especially the commentary, to be an excellent distraction. Thank you very much. And thank you, and hope everything's well.
Medicated up to the eyebrows, that is high. Because normally I've heard the saying is eyeballs, but the eyebrows is even higher, isn't it?
It's slightly higher.
Yeah, so that's really medicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, wish you well. Hope all is good.
So the new batter for the Braves is Catherine Bryce. Mentioned earlier she's been with Scotland in the T20 World Cup, which finished last Sunday. 94 runs she scored in 5 innings. For Scotland, a high score was against Ireland at Old Trafford, where she made 60. Here's Gibb, right arm over. That's you.
Right arm over. Thanks. First ball up. Cut away behind square for 4 runs by Catherine Bryce. So last 3 balls, 4 wicket 4. That is how T20 goes sometimes.
We've got 1 or 2 people in the wars listening and watching to the game this afternoon. This one from Philip Brown, hampshirecricket@bbc.co.uk. Sitting here, leg up, having had new knee fitted, so unable to attend and see the games live. At last, much improved camera coverage at games shown on YouTube. Really enjoying this. Many thanks to Hampshire, says Phil Brown. Cameraman's near me, didn't quite hear that. I'll have to shout that a bit later.
Daisy Gibb coming in to Catherine Bryce. 4 off her first ball. This is on leg stump, and she tried to work it away on the leg side, but it just hits her pad and dribbles back to the bowler.
Is that worth it? Obviously, it wasn't worth a shout. I thought she's playing across that one. Obviously, going down the leg side. We're not quite wicket to wicket. We're slightly to the left, so obviously you get a better view of that on the picture feed. But I just thought the way she played across that, I thought that might have been worth half a shout. But hey, what do I know?
It's the bowler in you.
It is. Yeah, if I was a batter, I'd say no way.
Right, at the top of her mark for Daisy Gibb's final ball of this over. Right arm over, bowls, and there's a big drive outside off stump, but it's play and miss, and Southby stood up to the stumps, takes that, end of the over. Blaze 48 for 1.
Just the 8 runs off that, so that's the quietest over, and included the wicket of Marie Kelly, 33 from just 20 balls. This one from Rohit Kumar, hampshirecricket@bbc.co.uk. Hi from Rohit and Hyderabad. Had a few from India, haven't we? At the bowl, spinners dominated over the last 4 seasons, with spinners averaging 23.9 and going at just 7 1/4 and over. With those numbers in mind, are we likely to see teams rely more on spin today? And with the boundary ropes looking quite short, do you think the captains balance attacking with spin against the risk of having to give up the big boundaries? I don't think that's an easy one to answer, really. I'm not sure it's turned here. I'm not sure we've seen anything really turned. Here's Titani, left arm seam. Elwes pushes that into the covers. She'll get a single, and she takes her score up to 12. And the Blaze up to 49 for 1. Remember, 152 is the target they're looking for. Yeah, I think it depends on if the wicket's sort of holding a little bit, if it's just gripping a bit. I'm not sure we've seen much. It'd be interesting when Amanda Jade Wellington comes on. I'm not sure Rebecca Tyson's a big spinner of the ball. I'm not sure Josie Groves got too much with her leg spin. Didn't really notice. It might have just have gripped in the surface a fraction, but no more. Titani's around the wicket, and that's pushed up to mid-on by Catherine Bryce, and there's no run.
Well, to back up Rohit's point there, he's obviously been doing his stats homework as well. Hampshire have bowled about 60% spin this year in this competition, which is the joint highest with Yorkshire. Last year, Hampshire only bowled 47% spin. So they are bowling a bit more of the slow stuff this year compared to last year.
Right. Thank you. Here's Datani. Bryce works that up just past the bowler. Throw comes in from mid-on. Bryce picks up a single and moves on to 5. There's the Blaze is 50 up. It's come up halfway through the 6th over. Just 3 more balls left of the power play. Good start that. Again, that's about the 2nd or 3rd, 4th time I've said that to you today.
I have to have a sit down in a minute.
Well, we've already had a couple of emails saying that your stats are very impressive. That's a very impressive one, that one.
They don't know they're right though, do they?
Have you just made that up?
No, I haven't. Everything I'm saying is...
Elwes pushes that to mid-wicket. It's fairly deep, and you'll get another single. Just pushing it around, Georgia Elwes. Just doing no more than that, but keeping that scoreboard ticking along. 51 for 1.
No, it's all properly researched. I'm not.
I know
not throwing it out there.
No, I know, because you do that. That's part of your job, isn't it? Is doing stats for commentary teams. 2 balls left of the power play. Then Datani switches to round the wicket to Catherine Bryce. 2 right-handers out there as Bryce pushes that back to the bowler. Good length ball there from Datani. He's done a good job this year. She's much fitter this year, Naomi Datani. She's had a few injury problems over the last year or 2. She's been a regular in the side, and she's contributing with both bat and ball. Didn't get too many today, but she has picked up 8 wickets in this competition this season. They've relied on her a lot because of Freya Davis's retirement.
Yeah.
At the end of last year, and she's responded with 8 wickets, and she's only going for 7 and over in this year's competition. Good economy rate that, as that's pulled away on the leg side by Bryce out to deep square leg.
And also at the start of the season in the 50 over, she held the fort in Georgia Adams' absence as captain as well. So been a really key player all round with bat, ball and leadership in this year's campaign.
And that's the quietest over in the power play, just 4 runs off it.
So in terms of where Hampshire were at this stage, 48 for 1 Hampshire, and the Blaze 52 for 1. So nothing too dissimilar to separate the 2 sides at this stage. But I do feel that period where you say Francesca Sweet and Abby Norgrove had a partnership that was just a little bit lacking in run rate. And if Blaze can have a little bit more impetus in this middle phase, Hampshire could be struggling to defend it come the back end of the innings.
Amanda Jane Wellington is the new bowler. Mabel Reid has emailed hampshirecricket at bbc.co.uk, pulling me up saying it's Francesca Sweet, not Francesca. Thank you very much. Sometimes I just let things slip, really, but I'll try and remember. Is it my over?
It's me.
Okay.
And that's full and straight by Jay Wellington. Defended by Bryce for no run. Wellington gets through her overs pretty quickly as she's in to bowl her second ball. Again, full whipped away up to Sweet. I'm not going to risk it, the first name, because I've forgotten what you said already.
You're just going to say Sweet from now
Francesca.
on? Francesca.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been saying Francesca, I think. I do from sometimes. Yeah. I know. Annoying.
Wellington into Elwes. It's a good ball. There's a forward defence outside off stump, but play and miss through to the keeper who whips off the bails in good time. We know how quick Southby can be with our hands.
And they said it might not turn or hasn't much. I'm just wondering if that might have done. Were you going to get a replay on that?
See Wellington bowling her leg spinners, usually a bit more turn with the wrist spinners. But again, not known for the biggest of turns of all the leggies, but we saw a little bit there, and that's perhaps caught the outside edge as well. So could be signs of a bit of turn there for Wellington, as that goes out into extra cover for no run. 1 run off the first 4 deliveries. She's into her 5th already. This time Elwes dances down the track and tries to work that into the leg side. She does, but it went a little bit more behind square than she was anticipating, and they come through for a single.
Yeah, can't tell if that's turning. It's a full toss. I'm sure we are going to get a replay of that ball earlier in the over.
The required run rate when Marie Kelly was biffing it all round at the start. The required run rate and the current run rate were very far apart in Blazer's favour. This time swept very well onto the leg side, and it manages to dissect the two fielders out there, which is Ellen McCacken and Abby Norgrove, and that's 4 to end the over. Yeah, the required run rate earlier on was dropping as Marie Kelly got off to a flying start with her 33 off 20. It's now just about in the balance. It's around 7.5 required, and they're going at around 7.5. So Hampshire just brought it back a little bit since that wicket.
94 needed. And now here's Hampshire's top wicket taker of the competition. Georgia Adams, the captain, with her off spin. 15 wickets with an economy rate of a fraction over 6 and over. Could do with maintaining that and maintaining her run of wickets as well if Hampshire were to put serious pressure on the Blaze reply here. Here she is from the pavilion end bowls, and Elwish uses her feet again and works it out to deep mid wicket again, just pushing the single, just keeping the scoreboard ticking along, no fuss. 15 from 13 Elwish, 59 for 1 the Blaze, 152 the target, remember. Field changes for Catherine Bryce. There's a deep backward point, as well as deep mid on, deep mid wicket and deep square leg. Adams in bowls. Bryce works it away on the leg side. Huge gap on the leg side, a single every time. Certainly Elwist will target that more often than not. Bryce does on that occasion. 60 for 1 in the 8th. Remember, these two teams in qualifying positions here for next week's finals day. Hampshire top and the Blaze 4th, as that's turned up to mid-on by Elwis. She's going to hit so many in that area. She's going to score so many singles in that area. 61 for 1 now. There's Adams in again. Again, it's gone on that leg side by Bryce. Just happy just to push for ones here. With that run rate, just a fraction over 1 and over. One a ball. And only lost 1 wicket as well. Again, it's worked on the leg side by Elwis. This is going to be a familiar pattern of Adams. She'll go around about 6 and over, but if she is, she'll just need to take a wicket or 2 to keep Hampshire in the hunt. And then, of course, it all depends on who's bowling at this end as well. Of course, they need to do the same. That's not always easy, is that? Again, that's pushed on the leg side for a single. So 6 balls bowled. 6 singles, all on the leg side. And the Blaze, after 8 overs, are 64 for 1.
Yeah, the Blaze are just having a period now where they can reap the rewards from what they did earlier, so to speak. They kept Hampshire down. I think keeping Hampshire down is the right phrase, because I think when Georgia Adams won the toss and elected to bat, I'm pretty confident she had sights of something nearer the 170 mark. So to keep down to 151, that Blaze did with that really good period in the middle, and then the great start they've had with the bat, with Marie Kelly, they're just allowing themselves now to do nothing silly, take no risks, take all the singles on offer, and it's not going to damage the required run rate too much, and they can wait for those bigger scoring opportunities. AJ Wellington, again, is a player miss there. There must be a little bit of turn as Southby whips off the bails once again, just to let the batter know she's there. No stumping appeal or anything, but it's just a bit of muscle memory.
We're not getting replays, are we?
No. Wellington in again, and again it's an orthodox leg spinner, and that's hit out into the leg side. 1 bounce into McCacken and come through for a single. So yes, like I say, Blaze have afforded themselves this bit of luxury to be able to do this, but they can't do it for too long. They can do it for a little bit at the minute as Wellington's in, and this time down the track, and that was the stumping opportunity, I think, but it's come off the keeper and gone down to...
Did it flick Elwis's pad? It's down the leg side, isn't it?
Wellington's got a big smile on her face as usual, and this time it's a floaty delivery that again is pulled to deep mid-wicket. Abby Norgrove does the fielding. 1 run.
Just wonder if there was a little bit of grip there for Wellington. I'm just trying to watch really hard. May just be maybe just going a fraction off the straight. Oh dear.
Oh, that's a full toss down leg side, and Southby does well to stop that going for any more. It would be just the wide, as umpire Mohammed Wazim signals. Again, this time slower delivery, and it's pulled out into the leg side, and it's taken. Caught by Ella McCacken. It was a slower delivery, enticing Catherine Bryce to play at that, and there was just nothing on the ball, no pace on the ball to work with. It's a fairly big boundary square of the wicket, and it was a decent catch by McCacken in the end, having to just dive forward at the last minute, kept her eyes on it, and Catherine Bryce goes 15 off 16 deliveries.
Well, Hampshire do need to take wickets regularly if they are to stay in this game. 2 in the first 9 overs. It's all 1 ball left of the 9th. Got an email here from Steve Collins, Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk. Now, on the BBC Sport website and Sports Extra 3 during the break, I did play out my piece commemorating 25 years of the Utilita Bowl. He said that he couldn't quite get the details I gave out. Could I do it again? Yes, if you go into your web browser and type in Utilita at 25 BBC Sounds, you will find it. Just watching the replay there. It's a sweep that's got a top edge. And a good catch there from Ella McCacken diving forward. Amanda Jade Wellington picking up her 14th wicket of this year's campaign. And Charlie Knott, the Australian, looks to the crease.
Okay, Wellington in for her final delivery. Bowls straight and driven down the ground by Charlie Knott. Naomi Datani ensures that's nothing more than a single as they end the over. Blaze 68 for 2 in pursuit of 152.
Yeah, Charlie Knott's having a decent competition. This is her 10th innings, 235 runs now in this year's competition. She's striking at 138 per 100 balls, so a good strike rate there. The top partnership so far in this innings, 44 between Marie Kelly and Georgia Elwes, was ended in the 5th over when Kelly was bowled by Daisy Gibb, coming across her stumps trying to flick the ball away on the leg side. Douglas has been on the emails. Oh no, it says it's got Douglas on the email and then it's signed Chris, so I'll go Chris. Chris is on the emails, Hampshire Cricket at bbc.co.uk. He says he agrees with 1 or 2 of the emails. He said he thought he'd turned into Radio 1 with some of the music that's playing. No, he's T20 cricket for you, I'm afraid. That's pushed up to mid-on. Is it my over?
Yes.
It is my over. Georgia Adams style. There's another run on the leg side from Georgia Elwes off the bowling of Georgia Adams. 18 from 17, Elwes. I mean, she's now bowling to Charlie Knott, who again uses her feet and again finds the outlet on the leg side. It's always facing, hang on, I'm getting this round the wrong way, aren't I? It's not facing now. There we go. I think we might be just, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we got not on 2 from 2. There was 19 from 18. Right, we're back. I'm back. I'm back in the game. It is Adams, and Knott's giving herself some room, trying to thrash that away on the offside. Not quite sure what happened there, but the ball, I think, off the toe of the bat, trickles back to Adams. And there's no run. Halfway through the 10th over then. 152 is the target, remember? Blaze looking to halt a run of 2 successive defeats as Knott goes for the sweep shot and she's bowled round her legs. And Knott goes for 2. And Adams, who made a telling contribution with the bat, has now made a contribution with the ball. And that is not gone for 2. That's a big wicket.
It is. We've seen quite a bit of that today. That was more of an orthodox sweep and attempted sweep and bowled round the legs. But batters trying to give themselves room by shuffling across to the off and work it round their legs. And we saw Abby Norgrove fall foul to that in the first innings, and then Marie Kelly earlier on.
I think that's important. The other really, really important wicket for me is Georgia Elwes. I think she's the sort of player. We've seen her with the Vipers. She bats through an innings. She kind of organises the run chases. I've seen her do that so many times down here and at other games when the Vipers were away. And I think she's a danger. I know she's not probably an ideal T20 player, but she'll just keep things ticking along. Just watching the replay of that, it's just hit the top of the leg stump. It may just have gripped a fraction as well, but she's come so far across the ball with her front foot that she's leaving the gap with the stump. She has to get the ball on the bat. She's got no choice. There's nothing behind the bat, and if it doesn't hit the bat, then she's gone, as that's happened there. Sarah Bryce then. So we've got the two Bryce sisters out there now. I did mention 2 years ago. Oh, it's not Sarah Bryce. As that's turned away on the leg side. Oh, it's not. Of course, Catherine Bryce has gone now. So it's Sarah Bryce and Georgia Elwes, right? Okay, thank you. One ball left of the 10th over. We'll be halfway through the chase here. As Adams comes in and bowls, and that's worked up to deep mid-on by Georgia Elwes, who moves on to 20, and she'll keep the strike. Right, we're halfway through here. So 10 overs. At 72 for 3, Hampshire was 71 for 2. There's not a lot in it.
There's not, but I think going back to what you were saying about Georgia Elwes, that in any sort of run chase, if wickets are falling, even just a few, but if wickets are falling, to shake the run chase up a bit, you need someone out there that's got that experience. It's all, there's lots of players, there's lots of young players coming through, have fantastic ball striking abilities and, abilities to score big runs and things like that. But in a run chase where wickets are perhaps tumbling, you need a Georgia Elwes or similar experience head on young shoulders, so to speak. As Wellington's in. Bowls to Elwes, who's down the wicket, and tried to flick that onto the leg side, got an edge, went down to short third man, overthrow to the keeper. They come through for an overthrow. All slightly shambolic. Other than the ball was a half decent delivery, but after that it was a little bit sloppy from first the edge from Elwes, and then is that Tyson or Gibb down there? I'm not quite sure, but anyway, they come through for a single. Nothing too drastic in the scorebook at the end, but just a little bit sloppy from both sides. As Wellington's in again and bowls. Bryce gives herself some room, cuts that away for a single. That's Sarah Bryce, who's just come to the middle.
She played all 5 matches for Scotland, 159 runs in her 5 innings.
And Elwes is a big sweep here, and it's again another edge. So similar shot, similar result. This time they come through for a single, no overthrow, but it was not where Elwes intended to play that. So I think there was a little bit going on. We've been trying to see from AJ Wellington, and this time Elwes is down the track, drives. Francesca Sweet does the fielding. Yeah, we've seen from AJ Wellington, we've seen a few play and misses, we've seen a few edges. We haven't been able to see from our position up here just how much turn is she's getting, but there's obviously some little grip there, bit of grip there, that's just irking batters at the minute. This ball's full and on the pads as Bryce plays and misses at that.
Good over. 3 runs off it. You're doing a bit of a squeeze here, a bit like the Blaze.
Final ball of this over. And again, decent length. Bryce manages to cut that to point for 1, just 4 off the over. Blaze 76 for 3, needing 76 off 54 deliveries, 7 wickets in hand.
Yeah, good game here. A really good game. Mary Kelly getting the Blaze off to the perfect start. Again with the new ball, hard ball coming on. She played so well. 33 runs off 20 balls. Catherine Bryce 15, Charlie Knott 2. Those are the 3 wickets that have fallen. Colourful shirt there on the live picture feed. One in the crowd. Right, here's Adams then to bowl. And that's worked away on the leg side by Sarah Bryce. So much room on that leg side. You've got Amanda Jade Wellington at short fine leg, and then the other 3 fielders out patrolling the ropes. So always a get out shot there. And of course, they're also playing with the spin. So it's hardly a risky shot. Although she's trying to play a risky shot there and she's bowled. And that is Georgia Elwes trying to heave across the line, taking a pace or two down the pitch. And that's uncharacteristic Georgia Elwes. And I'm just wondering if the pressure here has got a little bit to the Blaze. Where, a bit like Hampshire's innings, they got away to a good start, but haven't really been able to maintain it. And batters just feeling a little bit of pressure here. Elwes goes for 22 from 23. Adams picks up her second wicket.
Yeah, that was surprising from Elwes. Like you say, we were talking about her experience earlier and how it's very easy to just take the runs on offer off a bowler like Georgia Adams with the field they had set. A little bit of blood rush to the head maybe, but Hampshire will feel they're right back in this game now with the Blazers' top 4 gone. That's Marie Kelly, Georgia Elwes, Catherine Bryce and Charlie Knott all back in the shed. Emma Jones is walking out now to accompany Sarah Bryce, who hasn't been out in the middle too long herself. She's 4 off 5 deliveries. And 2 wickets for Georgia Adams, 2 for 11.
And Emma Jones has played in all 9 matches up to today, so this is her 10th match. She's been ever present in the side, 110 runs. She's striking at 130 per 100 balls. She'll certainly get on with it. Formerly of Surrey.
Yep.
Here's Adams then to the right-hander. Jones works that away on the onside. It is an easy get out for the batters, has to be said, but it's whether they're happy to just push for the singles. And of course, that's what Hampshire want. They want them to get frustrated. They want them to do something a little different, as we saw with Georgia Elwes. And this is good field placing here from Adams. All the fielders up on the offside. She's just bowling the ball generally straight. That's heaved away on the leg side. Better connection, but gone to deep mid-on. Single to Sarah Bryce. Takes the total on to 5 from 6. And we saw in the middle overs, didn't we? The Blaze were happy for Hampshire to score at singles. Here, Hampshire are happy for the Blaze to score singles. So push to extra cover. There's not going to be a run there. Tatani's quickly across. Adams with 1 ball left of her 3rd over. Conceded just 3 runs so far. Picked up a wicket. Bowling to Emma Jones, who hasn't found the gap. Well, she's going to get a single to extra cover. Tatani throws to Southby. End of the over. 3 overs, 2 for 14 from Adams. And 12 overs gone, 80 for 4. Remember, 152 is the target. So from here, the Blaze need 72 from 8 overs.
Yeah, this has been a really good partnership in tandem with Wellington and Adams. They both bowled 3 overs and both gone for 14. So going at under 5 and over, 4.67 and over, the pair of them. And that's just really tightened the screws on the Blaze chase. And not just the run rate, obviously wickets have fallen as well. 2 to Adams and 1 to Wellington. Poppy Tulloch is going to bowl for the first time in this game from our commentary end. So back to a bit of seam, still with Rhianna Southby stood up to the stumps, as she so often does to seamers. Tulloch into Jones. First ball is length ball outside off stump. Driven up to George Adams, who has a shy at the stumps from mid-off. But the timber is not destructed, so they come through for a single.
Steady seamer, Poppy Tulloch, 9 wickets from her 9 matches so far. What's important here at this stage is that her economy rate per over is a fraction over 7s this season. Be nice if she can keep that up.
Yeah, really good for a seamer in this format. She's in again. This time, straighter line delivery allows Bryce to work that onto the leg side. They come through for a single. Poppy Tulloch's got the towel sticking out the back of her trousers, and I guess that today is for sweaty hands. Normally in England, when someone's got a towel, it's because the ground is wet and drying the ball. Totally different climate today to the traditional English season, as she's in again, bowls wide outside off stump. That's driven well timed, but only as far as Adams at mid-off and no run.
Yeah, the boundaries are drying up just as like they did in the Hampshire innings. The last boundary was at the end of the 7th over. Catherine Bryce hitting Amanda J. Wellington for 4. Previous to that, it was the 4th ball of the 5th over. So there's not too many been coming for the Blaze.
Tulloch in, offside ring is compact with no sweeper out there as she drives this back to Tulloch. It's a bump ball, but taken well off the turf from Poppy Tulloch as she strides back to her mark with ball in hand.
44 balls remain in this game and 70 runs are needed.
See, she's just holding on to the ball. She hasn't passed it round. She's just got it on, got it there, back to her mark, ready to go. Love it.
Conversation we had in the first innings about all that.
And she's off again and bowls straight to delivery again, driven up into that extra cover wide mid-off region. This time they get a single. It's really good disciplines from Tulloch, who's 3 singles off the first 5 deliveries of her first over.
You can kind of see how some of the batters have tried this sort of flick behind square, both off and leg side, because it does look as though hitting it straight on a consistent basis, difficult to pierce the field if it's set right.
It does, yeah. We've seen them. That's been a get-out shot, hasn't it, for someone, an attempted get-out shot. As this time there's a big hoik down to leg, and luckily she gets an under edge on it. I'm saying luckily that's for Sarah Bryce, the batter, and it goes down to short fine leg for no run. But that was a bit of a wild swing and a fairly straight delivery as Blazer 83 for 4 off 13.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, that hasn't missed the stumps by very much. Whack across the line there from Sarah Bryce. So after 13 overs, Hampshire were 89 for 2. So the Blaze just a fractionally behind. Hampshire never really had big overs from here on in. There was a 12, actually there was a 12 off the 18th over.
Is that when Nancy Harmon came in?
Yeah. So there's nothing for the Blaze to get too worried about here, but they don't want to let things get too far away from them. 42 balls remain in this game. 69 runs are required. Bex Tyson is back into the attack. 2 overs, none for 19. First over went for 12. As that's cut away out to Datani. Throw comes in at the bowler's end. There's a dive there from Jones. Sort of backed up in the end, just. I think Jones was in no position to get up and turn for 2. Very dusty out there when you're diving in. Certainly as we get to second half of the season, as you can be pretty sure that your shirt is going to be mucky. Well, dry dust anyway. 84 for 4. Here's Tyson again. Bowls. Cutting away is Sarah Bryce. There is a deep cover. That's a good bit of fielding by Datani. Right on the boundary there, away to our right. 2 runs. First 2 we've seen for a while. 86 for 4 now, with 66 needed from 40. Bryce is 8. Jones is 5. Bryce, Sarah to face. Cuts that away, but finds backward a point. Every dot ball here crucial. Poppy Tulloch, the fielder, with that traditional big white towel. She's the one with the big white towel, isn't she? You only look around in the field. Who's got the big white towel? That's Poppy Tulloch. Down the wicket comes Sarah Bryce and just plays across the line slightly up to deep mid on, where Francesca Sweet. Phil, do you like that? Francesca, yeah. I remembered the email earlier. See, people think I don't take any notice.
You have to be told once, don't you?
Well, my wife might say differently. Let's just say yes, only once. Sweep shot on the leg side. That's a good shot. Wellington's running after it. The ball will win that contest. That's a very, very good sweep shot there from Emma Jones. Again, you know, the shots behind square seem to be bringing, especially when the ball gets older and softer, seem to give the best value. So you can see where players have got out coming across the stumps because they feel that's their better option. That's a really good sweep shot. That wasn't very much leg side-ish there from Tyson. Total moves into 91 for 4, and 61 are needed from 37 balls now as Tyson from the pavilion end around the wicket comes in. That's pulled away on the leg side. In the air, caught at deep mid-wicket.
Nancy Harmon.
Nancy Harmon with a safe pair of hands there. And that's Emma Jones there, who I think got underneath that a little bit. I don't think she tried that. I don't think she tried to hit it over the top. I think she tried to hit it out with a bit of pace on the leg side. She's just got fractionally underneath. It's hit the top half of the bat and it's carried all the way to Nancy Harmon. Jones goes for 9, 91 for 5 now, the Blaze.
Yeah, good catch there from Nancy Harmon. Hampshire have done well in the field. They often look a good fielding unit, they set high expectations of themselves, and today they've backed that promise up.
So all the time, just take wickets, make sure there's new batters out there, don't let partnerships form and the rhythm of the innings take shape. Tyson has finally taken her wicket.
I was going to say, it's not broken her, well, she's kept her run of taking at least one wicket in every game of the Blast this season.
She's now taken 14 for the season.
2 games left in Hampshire's group stage games to see if she can go all the way, with a wicket in each game. I wonder if that's ever.
That's finals day, don't forget.
Yeah.
If they make it.
Absolutely.
So another potential 3 games. 5 games. Oh, it's a stump in. Oh, and that's 2 wickets in 2 balls. A team hat-trick here. New over from Amanda Jade Wellington. And it's Sarah Bryce that's gone, trying to heave away down the leg side, but she's come down the wicket. She's not left herself any room behind the line. Now they're in trouble.
Yeah, we're just saying how good their fielding's been, and that's exemplified by that bit of keeping as well. And sorry, that ball was mine, wasn't it, Kev? But I was trying to think if anyone's ever taken a wicket in every game of the Blast, and
I stole it.
Much like yourself, I can't do 2 things at once.
No, well, that's nice to know I'm not the only one. No, I stole that delivery from you, and I apologise. A wicket for Wellington. 2 wickets for her now.
So Hampshire again chopping and changing their bowlers. We just Poppy Tulloch bowled her first over of the game from this end last over, and a fine over it was too, and you're going for 3. But AJ Wellington, who bowled her 3 overs from here previously, is back onto bowl and got the breakthrough. So Georgia Adams just really knows how to break up her bowling options and keep batters guessing, keep it moving, and never let any partnerships settle in terms of bowling patterns. As AJ Wellington, this is her 4th and final over, 2nd ball of it. She's in and bowls, and full ball defended by Kirsty Gordon. So 2 batters at the crease, both yet to score. Good position for Hampshire to be in. How quickly this has turned around. Just a few wickets in this middle phase, and Wellington's in, and this time there's a sweep. It's just sort of helped round, and they come through for a single. It's Abby Norgrove. It's a round of applause for a decent bit of fielding from Abby Norgrove, keeping that down to a 1. It's a big boundary out there. And Michaela Kirk will be on strike for the first time today. She tries to play that straight, gets an outside edge, goes to the covers where Datani has been fielding most of the day.
She's been right on it today, Amanda Jade Wellington, hasn't she? She's always an accurate bowler, but there's just been something extra special about her today.
Yep, she's just getting the ball in the right areas, pretty much every ball, and that's another dot ball. Nothing that Kirk can do to that other than defend it back. Wellington just 1 ball left in her allocation today. And here it comes. She bowls, and it's down leg side and swept. A little under edge, so it just trickles to Nancy Harmon at short fine leg for a single, and amazing figures from Amanda Jade Wellington. Her 4 overs go 2 for 16.
So 93 for 6 here, the Blaze. 152 they need for victory. It won't be the end of the day if they don't win. It won't be the end of the day if Hampshire don't win it, because Hampshire are more likely to qualify at this stage, being top of the group. There are still 2 games left for both these teams before they can confirm qualification, with the Blaze in the last of the qualification for finals day spots. Currently, Hampshire go to Warwickshire on Friday and Surrey at the Oval on Sunday. There's a sweep shot there to Adams, and the umpire has put their finger up. And it is Michaela Kirk that goes. Again, playing across the line, this time sweeping. It's a straight delivery, and the Blaze really are falling away horribly here. They're 93 for 7, having been 91 for 4.
Yeah, we said in the first innings that the Blaze bowled well, very much stump to stump, and we saw a lot of batters try and get across and demise to those straight deliveries. But Hampshire have perhaps even done it even better as a team, just giving almost no width and making batters have to do something innovative to chase this target. Reminder, 152. And that's another 59 runs required, 29 balls remaining, but just the 3 wickets in hand now.
Yeah. The Blaze have got to go, or they hope their next game is at home to Somerset. That'll be interesting. That's 4th against 5th.
Will be.
That could confirm their place at the end of that one. Somerset do need a couple of wins if they're to give themselves, well, not a couple of wins, but certainly a win for the Blaze will help in that one. And they go to Yorkshire on Sunday in their final group match as well. The new batter is Josie Groves, the leg spinner. We've got 2 caught and bowled in 1 over in the Hampshire innings. And Georgia Adams then with 3 for 14 and a final over, and that's down the leg side, well taken by Southby, but it's a wide. And the total moves on to 94 for 7, and from here the Blaze need another 58 from 29 as Groves hits it in the air. It's fallen to Titani, who takes a catch at extra cover, and there's another wicket. Adams has picked up 4 to go with a 49 from 29 balls in the Hampshire innings, and the Blaze are falling away horribly here at 94 for 8, having lost 4 wickets here for 3 runs.
Yeah, but having such a good start to this chase, they then rested on their laurels for a little bit, just pushing the ball around, and then they just haven't been able to kick on from that position. And they've now got themselves into a little bit of a hole here.
Well, it's they looked so good for a while, didn't they, with Marie Kelly giving them a good start. 33 from 20 balls. Georgia Elwes playing like Georgia Elwes does, just stroking the ball around and not doing anything too fancy before she had maybe a bit of a rush of blood playing across the line. She went for 22 from 23, and Catherine Bryce was giving her good support, but the innings is falling away horribly here against some accurate bowling, and you just feel that Adams was inviting the batters to hit ones on the leg side, and they seemed happy for a while, but all of a sudden they seemed unhappy doing it, and it started a downfall here.
With that wicket, Georgia Adams has gone level top with Charlie Knott for the highest wicket takers this season.
With, as it's played back to the bowler.
With Charlie Knott.
Yeah, with
19.
Thank you.
And she's got 3 balls left to go clear top.
4 for 15. Left-handed Ballinger face in and drives, goes out to extra cover. Just the deep mid-off out for Ballinger. The other 3 fielders on the offside saving 1. Wow, what a difference this game has been over the last 15 minutes or so, as Ballinger gets wrapped on the pad as it goes down to short, fine leg. That's the end of Adams' spell, or is it? No, there's 1 ball left. There seems to be confusion. Have they decided there's 1 ball left?
There was a wide earlier, so I don't know if
yeah.
Maybe the umpires clicked their clicker on.
Some people moved for the end of the over, some people didn't. The umpires have finally worked out that there is 1 more ball, as did Gemma Green. Unsurprisingly. This is our best figures of the season here, as that's driven towards extra cover. Half stopped. Ballinger will keep the strike, but a superb over there for Georgia Adams. 2 wickets in it. There we go. 4 for 16, our best figures of the season.
Yeah, something special's got to happen to knock Georgia Adams off player of the match.
I think so. I think I might be chatting to her after the game.
With her 49 off 30, which set up Hampshire's first innings, and then 4 for 15 as they look to defend that.
You mentioned last year the Blaze beat Hampshire both home and away. The Chesterfield game was the Blaze home game. This is the first time these 2 sides have played this year, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just playing each other once this year.
Yeah, that's one of those where they 4 counties twice and 4 counties once. This one.
Yeah. Right, Poppy Tulloch to bowl her second over. She's going to go round the wicket to the left-hander, and that's good forward ball. Push back to her. No run by Grace Ballinger. Again, just honing in on those stumps as, well, I say we've seen everyone do today, both innings, but Hampshire perhaps a little bit more relentlessly in this innings as Tulloch's in again. Bowls a slower ball, very full, into the hands of Rihanna Southby.
Going back to Georgia Adams, in the 2 seasons she's played for Hampshire, that actually is her best T20 figures. 4 for 26 was the previous best. And also her best figures when she played for the Vipers as well. Her best in T20 cricket was 3 for 23.
Brilliant. She does tend to put in these performances with bat and or ball at key times, and this is driven up to Adams, who has a shot at the stumps. They come through for a single. They need more than singles, but the pressure there getting to the Blaze. Luckily for them, the throw was not on target.
56 needed from 21 deliveries. It's getting tougher and tougher, and especially when you've only got 2 wickets in hand and you're down to your lower middle and lower order.
Kirsty Gordon, captain of the Blaze, on strike now. One of the Scottish trio from the Blaze side in that World Cup, as Tulloch reverts to over the wicket to the right-hander, and it's pushed out to point. They come through for a single, and Hampshire aren't going to be worried about that.
55 or 20. 97 for 8. Wow, what a collapse. 4 for 3.
Change in the field as we've got this left-hand, right-hand combination now. And bowler again moves over to the other side of the wicket to bowl to Ballinger. And that's driven uppishly, but over the infield. And goes to the ropes at wide, long, off for 4.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the first boundary for a while that I can think of, Gemma. The previous boundary to that, well, there was one in the 5th ball of the 14th, bowled by Tyson. But you have to go back way before that to find another one. Last ball of the 7th.
That does bring the 100 up for Blaze, as this one's pulled into the leg side. Francesca Sweet scurries round, keeps that to a single. As I say, singles aren't going to hurt Hampshire at the minute. And that ends the over. Blaze 102 for 8.
So Hampshire very much in the driving seat here with just 18 balls remaining in this game. Hampshire coming into this off the back of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight victories and a tie before that, and in fact a win before that as well. So they are in some good form. I have to say, it didn't look enough, did it? Really, initially 151, but it's proved a more than challenging total. So 3 overs left, and 50 runs are needed by the Blaze, but they are literally down to their last lower order batters. Tyson comes in, bowls, down the wicket comes Ballinger, just squeezes that away to short mid-wicket for a single. And there are 17 balls left in this game, and 51 runs are required by the Blaze. Sorry, 49 runs are required.
Yeah, Hampshire's only defeat in this competition so far came in their second game back on 24th of May away to Durham, and they lost by 32 runs. Other than that, it's been wins and a couple of ties.
Durham's proved difficult for both these sides, as that's a flick away. It's gone through third. Daisy Gibb has picked that one up, but it's just a single. Ballinger back on strike. She's on 8. Gordon is on 3. 16 balls remain and 48 runs required. It does seem the tallest of orders here, as Tyson comes in over the wicket and bowls. Ballinger swings away, misses. Neatly taken again by Southby standing up. Tyson's into her last over here. Just the one wicket that she's picked up. That of Emma Jones from the pavilion end. Over the wicket again. Ballinger comes down the wicket, hits it away on the leg side. Not really timed. Ball trickles out towards deepish mid-wicket. Tatani's there. Ballinger moves on to 9, brings Gordon back on strike, and 47 are needed from 14. Can't see the Blaze winning it from here. Tyson bowls. Gordon has a heave at that one, hits it up towards deep mid-off, but a fairly safe fielding there. There's the trumpet, I think for the first time this afternoon. Won't be the last time today, though. Ballinger, the left-hander, facing Tyson, comes down the wicket, heaves that away on the leg side. Tatani fields. But again, it's just a single. Good over from Tyson to finish off. 1 for 32 from her 4 overs. And 107 for 8 then the Blaze. There are just 12 balls left in this contest. And 45 runs are needed. And as we said at the start of the programme, if Hampshire get a tie or a win out of here, their place at next week's T20 finals day is assured.
Yeah, Hampshire started this game top of the table. Surrey, because they finished already and won, have leapfrogged Hampshire. So they're currently top of the table as it stands right now. But assuming Hampshire win this, and I can't see any other result possible from this position, they will resume their place back at the top of the table with a game in hand over Surrey as well. Daisy Gibb. She's going to bowl round the wicket to the left-handed Ballinger, who's full and straight, gives herself a little bit of room, manages to drive that into the covers for a single.
I've got another message here that says, loving Gemma on the commentary. Great to listen to, perfect mix of insight and banter.
Oh, thanks, Mum.
There you go.
Daisy Gibb, she bowled at the start of the innings. She's back now as she bowls over the wicket, and that's driven up to long on for a single.
Well, this is just the last rights now, isn't it? 10 balls left, 43 needed. Boundaries hard to come by. They're certainly not going to get it in singles. That's just 10 runs. They'll be well short.
Grace Ballinger on strike. She's 11 off 14. Again, gives herself a bit of room as play and miss this time. Rihanna Southby picks up the bail. She's knocked them off quite a bit this game. One stumping, the other time's just to, as I say, remind the batter that she is there and how quick her hands are should she lift her foot. Nine balls remaining, 3 in this over. As Gibbs up and bowls. There's an appeal there for, is that given? No, he put his hand up to say 1 remaining or 2 remaining. I thought he'd given something there. But Ballinger went to reverse, which got herself into position very quickly, very predetermined shot. Tried to reverse scoop that, but it went through to Southby. There was an appeal for something. I'm not quite sure what it was for, but it was aborted all very quickly, and she's in to bowl her next ball. Driven the offside. There's no run because she played a missed.
That's a good Yorker outside the off stump. I'm surprised that, I mean, not that ball because you're not going to reverse sweep that, but that's the wrong length. But surprised they haven't tried more. I mean, clearly the ball down the ground in front of square either side. It's difficult to get away now. It's soft and a used wicket. I'm surprised that they haven't tried more flicks, although they've seen batters try that and get out doing it. So,
and what do you do as a where's your head at this point? Because the game's gone.
Well, it's too late now.
The game's gone. So what are you trying to achieve here? As Gibb bowls a slower delivery, and that's driven and timed well over the head of the infield, and will go away, bouncing to the ropes a couple of times. 4 runs.
That's a really good shot there.
Yeah.
It's in the arc, isn't it?
It was in the arc, but it was a slower delivery, and she managed to just wait that fraction of a second that she needed to ensure that she got the timing on that. So yeah, really good shot.
Yeah, 50 miles an hour that last ball. You're right about the difference in paces. A couple of them over were around the 60 odd miles an hour mark. So we are 6 balls away from confirming a Hampshire victory here. A victory that will confirm their place as one of the 4 teams in next Friday's T20 finals day at the Oval. And the very next day is the men's T20 finals day at Edgbaston. So anybody that has got their women's and men's team in the finals is going to have a pretty busy time.
Get yourself from London to Birmingham.
Yeah. Naomi Tatani then to bowl the last over. She's bowling left arm seam around the wicket, and that's hit in the air over extra cover. A bit of a loopy one. It's bouncing away, and it's bounced away for 4 from Kirsty Gordon, who moves on to 9. 5 balls remain, 35 runs to win. You can do the maths. Unless there's a wide or a no ball, the Blaze aren't going to win this. But they're making a better fist of it over the last 2 or 3 balls, but it's a little too late. They've been squeezed, just like Hampshire were in the middle overs. As Tatani bowls, comes across the stumps there, flicks it fine, and it's going to run away for 4. So that's what I'm saying about those flick shots behind square. And Gordon has hit 2 consecutive boundaries, but it is a little late. I suppose all the Blaze can do here now is just make sure their run rate doesn't suffer, even though they're not going to win this game. Try and get to a situation where it may come down to run rates. So try and get as many runs as you can at this stage. 31 needed from 4, 121 from 8. Gordon is 13 from 8. Ballinger at the non-striker's end is 15 from 18. As Tatani comes in from that pavilion end once more and bowls, gives herself some room, cuts that away. This could be 4 more. Well, this is good striking here from Kirsty Gordon. 3 boundaries off the first 3 deliveries. But just to reiterate, it's a little too late. 27 needed from 3.
Yeah, 17 off 9 from Gordon. Tatani's first 3 balls go for 4. But as long as she keeps her foot behind the line.
If Tatani again then. Still all the fielders up on the offside apart from deep mid-off. She goes for more room and he, in the end, just works that up to extra cover where Georgia Adams fields. That's just a single. Brings Grace Ballinger on strike. 2 balls remain, 26 runs needed. There's a few more in the crowd, mainly up the far end where the shade is. But it's not the biggest I've seen at this stage of a T20 doubleheader. And Hampshire, both the men and women, are going to keep up their record of not losing either side in T20 doubleheaders here this year. Just the men to come against Middlesex later on this evening. Hampshire can confirm their place in the quarterfinals if they win that one, as that's, well, they are through to the quarterfinals, but it gets closer to a home draw, is what I should say. That's a good stop at extra cover, but it's a single. Right, we get down to 1 more ball here with 25 needed, 127 for 8, and it will be Kirsty Gordon, who's come with a late flurry of runs here towards the end of this game. She's 18 off 10. What can she do here? Here's Tatani then. And bowls to Gordon, gives herself some room again, hits that away on the leg side. It's going out to deep mid on. It will be just a single. And at 128 for 8, Hampshire have won this game by 23 runs. And that is a final. Place confirmed next week at the Oval. The Blaze still not out of it. They will remain in 4th place. There are 4 teams that will contest that final next week, but with 2 games to play, the Blaze have still got something to play for.
Yeah, another clinical performance from Hampshire. They did the same on Sunday. They looked like a side that deserved to be top of the table. And today, a little bit of a squeeze when they were batting, slowed the run rate down a little bit, but had absolutely no troubles defending that with their disciplined line and length and their excellence in the field. Another good win for Hampshire.
So, the Hampshire Hawks women win again here at the Utilita Bowl. Just to quickly remind you of the situation in this game. Hampshire winning the toss electing to bat first, finishing with 151 for 8. Georgia Adams opening the batting, 49 from 30 deliveries with 7 fours and 2 sixes. She was striking the ball better than anybody in the game, really, and even Marie Kelly, really. She was backed up with Abby Norgrove at number 3 with 29. A late flurry from Amanda Jade Wellington with 18 from 11. There was 3 wickets for Grace Ballinger, was on a hat-trick at one stage, 3 for 25 from her 3. Her first over went for 13. Charlie Knott picked up 3 for 22 against her former side of 4 overs. There was 2 wickets for Josie Groves, who took 2 caught and bowls in the same over. And the Blaze, needing 152 for victory, started brightly through Marie Kelly, 33 from 20 balls with 5 fours, but when she went in the 5th over at 44 for 1, the Blaze had the fast start they wanted, but then the scoring rate got squeezed, a bit like Hampshire did in their middle overs. And there was a flurry of wickets where the Blaze lost 4 wickets for just 3 runs in the 90s. Kirsty Gordon with 19 not out at the end off 11 balls was too little too late. And there was 4 wickets for 16 for Georgia Adams, her best figures in T20 cricket for Hampshire or the Southern Vipers before that in the regional competition. A couple of wickets for Amanda Jade Wellington. Well done to Hampshire, and the Blaze still have more than a good chance of joining them at the Oval next week. Thank you very much, Gemma.
Thanks, Kev.
We will take a break. We'll be back with you at 10 to 7 this evening for Hampshire men against Middlesex.
Oh my goodness me, what a victory for Hampshire Hawks. They have secured their spot in Vitality Blast Finals Day next week. Amazing news and the star of the show, Hawks captain Georgia Adams, 49 with the bat. 4 for, 4 for 16 in the end with the ball as well. Player of the match, captain, you did everything in that game and you qualified for finals day. How good?
Yeah, honestly, it's just been such a great tournament. You know, see us go and play the way we have with